Tonight's Emmy Awards is brought to you in part by Accord Productions, your full-service production facility, and by Aventura Mall, the premier shopping destination in Miami and South Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the president of the Suncoast chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, Barbara Alfonso.
Good evening. Welcome to the 44th Suncoast Regional Emmy Awards. I'm Barbara Alfonso, president of the Suncoast chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. I am so honored to be with all of you tonight. Although this night has always been an opportunity for colleagues near and far to reunite, raise a glass, and celebrate each other's accomplishments, this year brought an unprecedented set of challenges that have converged like no other moment in our lifetime, forcing us to celebrate together but apart. And celebrate we must. This night is for you as we reflect on your accomplishments during a year where you were forced to completely redesign the way you worked to continue to be a trusted and comforting voice serving your communities, covering essential employees and medical professionals in the front lines, as well as bringing to the forefront the stories of families who suffered devastating losses, local business owners and employee struggles, and organizations providing resources and support to those who needed it most. A year where you had to report from home or report wearing a mask when in public, covering months of social unrest, severe weather, and most recently, a lengthy and eventful presidential election. A year where your passion and commitment to your profession were strengthened and reaffirmed. It is my hope that despite all of that, you found an unusual opportunity to perhaps spend more time with your kids and family at home, more time to reconnect with loved ones in new ways, and more time to rediscover things you may have forgotten you enjoyed. Tonight, as we proudly honor your contributions to our region and our industry, our show format will be a bit different from other years. We will be breaking up categories into topic blocks, and introducing each block will be presenters from around the Suncoast region. Award recipients, as always, are listed in a sealed envelope. The Suncoast Regional Emmy Award entries are judged against a standard of excellence and not against each other. As such, for any given category announced tonight, there may be one recipient, more than one recipient, or no recipient. As a result of your hard work and dedication to the industry, we have experienced another outstanding year, as will be evident from the quality of the entries you will see tonight. More than 1,750 entries were submitted to the Suncoast chapter, and these entries were judged by your peers in 12 different chapters. Judging is a vital part of the Emmy Awards program. A heartfelt thank you goes to everyone who participated in the judging process this year. Without you, this night would not have been possible. As we celebrate your achievements, we would love to see all the pictures of your big night and encourage you to post your acceptance speech on social media using the hashtag SuncoastEmmys2020. You may also tag us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Suncoast Emmys. You can also follow with us by opening your virtual program book. If you have not already done so, programs may be downloaded from our website. Emmy statues for tonight's recipients will be shipped to you the week of December 14th. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce our first presenter of the evening. From WVEN Univision Orlando, Tampa, please welcome Paul Gamache.
Good evening, and welcome to the 44th Annual Suncoast Regional Emmy Awards. My name is Paul Gamache, and I'm Senior News Anchor and Producer at WVEN Univision Orlando and Tampa. For the past few years, we have celebrated this wonderful evening in an elegant ballroom right here in the city beautiful, Orlando, Florida. And although we would all love to be enjoying each other's company the same way this year, I am grateful to be opening the evening to honor the amazing talent of our region virtually. To say that we may have broken the record for the number of times we've said the word unprecedented this year may be unprecedented, but journalists are no strangers to unprecedented events. In fact, some of the biggest and most compelling stories are indeed unprecedented and oftentimes happen under challenging circumstances. In this first block of categories, we honor excellence in regularly scheduled morning, daytime, and evening newscasts, feature news report, news special, and arts and entertainment, as well as general assignment report for excellence in a single news story, assigned, shot, edited, and aired within a 24-hour period. We also celebrate the individuals whose talents are the crucial foundation of any production, the craft achievements of news producers and writers. Here are the nominees.
In the category of Newscast Morning, Smaller Markets, the nominee is WAFB 9 News This Morning, WAFB TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Craig Stevens, the second vice president of NATA's Suncoast chapter and news anchor at WSVN TV Channel 7. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this historic virtual Suncoast Emmy Awards ceremony. We have an exciting night ahead to celebrate all of your hard work. We begin with the first Emmy Award of the evening, which goes to WAFB 9 News This Morning, Farrah Reed, Lauren Westbrook, Matt Williams, Diane Deaton, Johnny Eisen, Graham Elkins, Stacy Broden, Liz Coe, WAFB TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Right now on 9 News This Morning.
A morning to be weather aware as we deal with storms across South Louisiana.
We're riding around in Titan 9 this morning to give you a live look at the road and the weather.
That is the sound of hail on my new patio.
In the category of Newscast Daytime, Larger, Medium, Smaller Markets, the nominees are Spectrum News 13, Crew Ready, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, Telenoticias 4 p.m., WKAQ TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico, News 4 Jax at 4 p.m., WJXT TV, Jacksonville, Florida, WAFB 9 News at noon, WAFB TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Hello, I'm Sandra Peebles, news anchor at Univision 23 Miami. Although we're not gathered in our traditional gala, this is a very special evening because no matter where we are, we get to honor excellence in television. If you're here, you're part of a very distinguished group and you deserve to be celebrated. And the Emmy goes to Telenoticias 4 p.m., The Alma Santiago, Elizabeth Robaina, WKAQ TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Esto se sintió bien feo, no fue fácil, porque pues, esto pone en peligro no nada más a mi familia ni a mí, pone en peligro a todo el mundo.
Se estremece Puerto Rico, la zona suroeste del país registra múltiples daños, desde estructuras que han colapsado hasta familias que buscan.
In the category of Newscast Evening, Larger, Medium Markets, the nominees are Telenoticias 5 p.m., WKAQ TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico, News 4 Jax at 6 p.m., WJXT TV, Jacksonville, Florida, News 4 Jax at 10 p.m., WJXT TV, Jacksonville, Florida, March 11, 2020, 5 p.m. newscast, WDSU TV, New Orleans, Louisiana, Action News Jax at 11, WJAX TV, Jacksonville, Florida, Action News Jax at 6, WJAX TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Telenoticias 5 p.m., Janet Toro Fantausi, Dialma Santiago, Jaime Carrión, Nidia Morales, Santiago Santos, Yadira Delgado, and Elizabeth Robaina, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Finalmente comienza el traslado de los refugiados en Guánica al campamento establecido por la Guardia Nacional de Puerto Rico.
Gobierno advierte que solo los refugios formales ofrecerán la totalidad de los servicios de emergencia a los damnificados por los terremotos.
Toman muestras de las aguas en los baños de Cuamo para determinar por qué ha subido la temperatura de las mismas.
Sobreviviente del terremoto de 1918 nos...
And the next Emmy goes to News 4 Jax at 6 p.m., Caitlin Shemensky, WJXT-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
Live from the local station, News 4 Jax starts now.
No bond set for a father and son charged with murder and the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery. The pair appeared before a judge today, less than 24 hours after they were arrested.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Action News Jax at 6, Pascal Head, Natalie Shanglin, WJAX-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
2 days, a tireless effort, and a community that's not giving up on Taylor Rose Williams.
I've looked into dumpster after dumpster. I've looked into street drains, trash cans, recycling bins, abandoned houses, crawl spaces. I want to do everything that I can.
In the category of News Producer, the nominees are Producing Composite, WPLG-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Deadly UPS Truck Chase, Getting Answers the Day After, WPLG-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Desolación en el Paraíso, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
And the Emmy goes to Producing Composite, Richard Engelhart, WPLG-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Live, the one and only Local 10 News starts right now.
It just looks like an apocalypse. There was a huge boom. Everything shook.
The building just blew up.
A huge explosion.
We found patients scattered all about.
In the category of Writer News, the nominees are Writing Like I Talk, Jeff Butera Composite, WZVN-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida. Hurricane Dorian, Abaco Aftermath, WPTV, West Palm Beach, Florida. It's Not Nice to Comma Splice, WGNO-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Se nos mueren las sirenas, Our Mermaids Are Dying, WRMD Telemundo, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Surreal, South Florida, WSVN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Story to Share, WBBH-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Writing Like I Talk, Jeff Butera Composite, Jeff Butera, WZVN-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida.
His name is Grizzly, and he's got something the size of a toddler growing off his chin.
I have to take a shower for 2 people.
Himself and the 27 inches of beard drooping past his belt.
Was this the plan? I never had a plan.
So for 10 years, he just let it.
And the next Emmy goes to Se nos mueren las sirenas, Our Mermaids Are Dying. Braylin Garcia, WRMD Telemundo, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Amanece en Florida. Noviembre trae consigo aires más frescos. A simple vista, la tranquilidad reina en estas aguas, pero bajo la superficie, el mundo es mucho más complejo. La migración de los manatíes ha comenzado y muy pronto a los santuarios de nuestro estado llegarán más de 7,000 de estos gigantescos.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Story to Share, Sean Martinelli, WBBH-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida.
On Fort Myers Beach, it's not the miners,
not the majors.
Yeah.
It's the seniors.
Catch, then limp. That's the rule.
These players are far from the MLB, and they might be OLD, but every Tuesday and Thursday, their mission is taken seriously.
It's 2 hours softball, 2 hours drinking.
In the category of writer, program non-news, the nominees are Debería comprarme un arma, WJAN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Australia Beyond the Fires, Picante Films, Black Hole Enterprises, Trinitas Productions, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Periodismo en Dictadura, Picante Films, Black Hole Enterprises, Trinitas Productions, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. La Tumba, Alpha Entertainment Services, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Mi Hermana, Creative Mountain Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Mi Hermana, Yulema Garcia, Cristi Espinosa, Creative Mountain Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Cuando yo tenía 19 años, yo quedé embarazada, que yo trabajaba en un banco, y cuando quedé embarazada, me botaron. Me di cuenta de que trabajar para otra persona nunca te iban a agradecer todo el esfuerzo que tú hicieras por esa empresa. Y dije, ¿de qué me sirve entregarle tanto a una compañía que no es mía?
In the category of writer, short form, the nominees are Together Again, Vela Visuals, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Riding the Bull, The Zachary Group, Tallahassee, Florida. Que Cada Segundo Cuente, WSCV-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Together Again, Jonathan Hickey, Vela Visuals, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
It's been a tough year. And I knew with all the social distancing that the thing I was going to miss the most would be church, going to church. So that's why I never left.
In the category of news special, the nominees are Telenoticias, Imágenes 2019, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Resumen 2019 Noticentro, WAPA-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. They Lived, Suncoast Survivors of the Holocaust, WSNN-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Los 12 días que cambiaron la historia, WAPA-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Ready for Lunch, America's Return to Space, WESH-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Laid Off, Let Down, Florida's Unemployment Failures, WESH-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Mystery in Ashes, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
There are several recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Telenoticias Imágenes 2019, Dialma Santiago, Mariette Bosch, Walter Soto León, Sugey Lamela, Iván O. López, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Buenas tardes, bienvenidos a Imágenes 2019. Nos trasladamos a la Fortaleza para revivir los momentos más impactantes de este año.
Sujei fue precisamente aquí en la mansión ejecutiva donde comenzó a escribirse una nueva página.
And the next Emmy goes to Resumen 2019 Noticentro, Rudy Mata, Erika Martínez Lee, Julio Rivera Saniel, Guapa TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Buenas noches. Definitivamente el año 2019 fue el año que cambió la historia de Puerto Rico y parte de ese cambio histórico ocurrió aquí, en el viejo San Juan, sobre estos adoquines centenarios y frente a la fortaleza. Aquí personas de diferente extracción ideológica, de diferentes edades, jóvenes y viejos, se manifestaron con un solo...
And the next Emmy goes to Laid Off, Let Down, Florida's Unemployment Failures, Marcy Golgoski, Greg Fox, Timothy Brown, Dylan Shue, Jacob Wickland, Robert Hazen, WESH TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Laid Off, Let Down, Florida's Unemployment Failures.
This is a West 2 News Investigate special.
Good evening and welcome to this West 2 News Investigate special. I'm Jim Payne.
And I'm Summer Knowles. Tonight, we are going in depth on a topic we've been covering in Newscast for the last month, the absolute nightmare that thousands of you are facing being unemployed.
And the final Emmy Award in this category goes to Mystery in Ashes. Katie Moore, Derek Waldrip, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Who killed Nanette Krentel and burned down the house around her that she shared with her fire team?
In the category of General Assignment Report, the nominees are One Day I'm Going to Heaven, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. God's Work, WAFB-TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And the Emmy goes to One Day I'm Going to Heaven, Megan Cruz, Sarita Kitchak, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
We can continue to do these options to extend life. From a selfish standpoint, I would keep you forever. But I know that, it's not fair and it's a hard thing to have to go through, to be poked and prodded and sick all the time.
One day I'll be go hidden.
In the category of Feature News Report, Light Feature, the nominees are Addicted to Adverbs, WGNO-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Sueño Espacial, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Flight School, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
There are two recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Addicted to Adverbs, Bill Wood, WGNO-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Step up to the table if you've got a question about grammar.
Comma.
Yes.
Does it always come after an and?
With her husband, Ellen hit the road, leaving her home in New York a couple of years ago on a mission across the country. Faster than a run-on sentence, they line up to learn. Ellen's been a student of sentence structure since...
The Emmy also goes to Flight School, Nick Moran, Catherine Jeffries, WTLV, Jacksonville, Florida.
It's a beautiful day at Bernardino Beach Airport. Light wind, high clouds, and this class is taking learning to new heights.
We're the model for this program, so it's exciting and scary all at the same time.
In the category of Feature News Report, Light Series, the nominees are Do Your Part, WKMG-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. On His Farm, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Do Your Part, Clay Lepard, WKMG-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
This is just single stroke lettering.
It looks easy when Craig Shoquist does it.
I've been painting signs for 45 years.
You may have seen his work.
Right now, open signs are the most popular thing to buy, yes.
There's a lot of it lately.
In the category of Feature News Report, Serious Feature, the nominees are Brits House, WSVN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Gone, The Morgan Martin Case, Bay News 9, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Shattered Dreams, Plastic Surgery Gone Wrong, WPTV, West Palm Beach, Florida. Scouts Honor, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. 911, Detrás de la Llamada, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Alex's Dragonfly Revolution, Breaking the Stigma of Mental Illness, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. LaTanya Roberts, 25 Years Missing, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Gone, The Jabez Span Case, Bay News 9, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
There are two recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Scouts Honor, Jeannie Blaylock, Nick Moran, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
If he were to walk in this room, what would you say?
I would beat the out of him. I would not say a word.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law.
The Boy Scout Oath. For decades, young boys trusting their scout leaders to teach them honor. But for this Jacksonville man.
And the Emmy also goes to 911 Detrás de la Llamada, Rainé Anciani, Randy García, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Pedidos de auxilio.
Just stay next to the boat, okay?
Está respirando. Tienen que reaccionar rápido.
Al menos unas 240 millones de llamadas de emergencia se registran anualmente al 911 en Estados Unidos.
In the category of Feature News Report, Serious Series, the nominees are Puerto Rico Earthquakes, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, Bringing Back the Bahamas, WPEC-TV, West Palm Beach, Florida, Parkland, 2 years later, WTVJ-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Human Trafficking and Hotels, WPEC-TV, West Palm Beach, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Human Trafficking and Hotels, Wally Lurs, Danielle Waugh, Maria Tomash, WPEC-TV, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Before slamming the door in our face, this woman welcomed our undercover investigator. Former officer turned private investigator John Rohde was posing as a prospective customer to show how prevalent prostitution and suspected sex trafficking is.
In the category of Arts, Entertainment, News, the nominees are His Mouse House, WGNO-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana, New Orleans, Cuba Connection, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana, Mr. Sawblade Head, Bay News 9, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida, Shakespeare by the Sea, WPEC-TV, West Palm Beach, Florida.
There are several recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to His Mouse House, Bill Wood, Justin Abshire, WGNO-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
When I celebrating Christmas with Mickey, get a new Mickey item, I'll Mickey Snow Globe, put it on the counter, and Mickey Dog Bone. Stare at it for a couple days before I Mickey Bank, put it up in my room. Mickey for your pumpkin.
Mark is a retired cop. He moved his Mickeys
Mickey Telephone
and his life to Louisiana from Reno.
Look what you caught in your mousetrap.
The next Emmy goes to New Orleans Cuba Connection, Eric Paulson, Steve Wolfram, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
This is the Amadeo Roldan Music Conservatory in Havana, a prestigious Cuban school of music. And on this day, the kids here are hosting some high schoolers from New Orleans with the Trombone Shorty Foundation, most of whom are on their first trip outside of America.
The Emmy also goes to Mr. Sawblade Head, David Hodge, Bay News 9, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
If things are flowing, I never want to stop.
And that's why on any given day or night,
Past couple nights, I'm out here to, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
one might catch a glimpse of the sparks or hear the crackling sound of steel sculptor Sean Lowry as he woefully welds.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Shakespeare by the Sea, Wally Lurs, WPEC-TV, West Palm Beach, Florida.
It's always a party. It's like a big picnic.
Welcome! This is our 29th summer out here in the park. This is my favorite thing all year. Shakespeare Festival, for many, many years, we have made a name for ourselves doing something interesting with the play. Our whole take on this is that we're not going to apologize.
In the category of Arts, Entertainment, Program Feature Segment, the nominees are Art Loft's Felix Semper, Movable Sculpture, WPBT-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Jen Clay, The Texture of Anxiety, WPBT-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, The Violin Shop, WEDU TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. West Coast Black Theater, WEDU TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
There are 2 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Jen Clay, The Texture of Anxiety. Dennis Scholl, Juan Matos, Ed Talavera, WPBT TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
When I was a child, I had a lot of sleep paralysis. I would be awake and I would see things, and then I also had hallucinations till I was about 9.
The Emmy also goes to West Coast Black Theater, Christine Kelly, WEDU TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
I want everybody to get up off your seat and get your arms together and your hands together. Give me some of that old soul.
I have to go start a theater that celebrates people who look like me.
In the category of Arts Entertainment Program Special, the nominees are celebrating 25 years of Cirque du Soleil Alegria, WTVJ-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ya Mama Nem, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Jazz at Wolfson Presents, MDC-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Hard Rock Hotel, Rock and Reveal, WPLG-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Uncanny, The Dolls of Mariana Monteagudo, The Lunchbox Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Sounds of the Season, WKMG-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Virtually Yours, A Night at the Athens Theater, The Studio Creative Group, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. 78 Pueblos, Una Bandera, HS Media, Guaynabo, Puerto Rico. Musically United, MDC-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are several recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Ya Mama and M, Kagan Moore, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
I found this great story that Disney World in Florida has decided that they're going to put together a beignet that's infused with alcohol. Liquor.
I never heard of that.
They have the powdered sugar. Yeah, the powdered sugar.
It's beautiful.
But they give you a little pipette filled with a favorite.
And the next Emmy goes to Hard Rock Hotel Rock and Reveal, Janice Fernandez, Juan Pinzon, Eddie Alvarez, Steve Owen, William Damas, Will Manso, Daniel Palma, WPLG TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
The seminal Hard Rock Hotel getting a $1 billion makeover, and the stars are ready to play.
Major international. We're dealing with 35 to 50 A celebrities.
And you're getting the star treatment tonight as Local 10 brings you the Rocky Reveal.
This is the time of your life.
And the next Emmy goes to Uncanny, The Dolls of Mariana Monteagudo, Elaine Mignones, The Lunchbox Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Lo grotesco atrae. El terror te mueve y te atrae. Es un magnetismo que hay en lo grotesco. Y es una forma de belleza para mí.
And the next Emmy goes to Virtually Yours, A Night at the Athens Theater, Joseph Maxwell, The Studio Creative Group, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Hello, and welcome to Virtually Yours, A Night at the Athens Theater. I'm your host, Nate Elliott, and I'm so excited to show you what we have planned for you tonight. Since the fall of the theme parks and the great purge of entertainment gigs, the people here at the Athens Theater have been brainstorming different ways of bringing you a performance that you can enjoy.
The Emmy also goes to 78 Pueblos, Una Bandera, Hector Santos, Alfredo Dominguez, Ariel Ferrer, Brenda Rodriguez Pagan, Raul Garcia, Barbara Lou Rodriguez Burgos, HS Media, Guaynabo, Puerto Rico.
Pero hoy
Soy agradecido de la persona que soy y le he demostrado a mucha gente que sí se puede echar hacia adelante, no importa quién haya sido tú en la niñez.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Musically United, Ariel Rubicava, Alberto Beatty, Michael Garcia, Ahmed Torsilla, MDC TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
La crisis económica que vamos a tener va a ser fortísima.
During this time, we decided to unite musically and share this common experience and try to uplift the world using our common language.
As we celebrate your achievements tonight, we would love for you to post your acceptance speeches to social media and share with friends and family. Use the hashtag Suncoast Emmys 2020 and tag us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Suncoast Emmys. We also want to see how you're celebrating, so feel free to post pictures throughout the night. And don't forget to tag us and use that hashtag at Suncoast Emmys and hashtag Suncoast Emmys 2020. And now, please join me in welcoming our special guest, Adam Sharp.
Hi, I'm Adam Sharp, President and CEO of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. Congratulations to all the nominees and recipients tonight at the Suncoast Regional Emmy Awards. This is not the ceremony we thought we'd have this year, but perhaps now more than ever, it's important to honor excellence in our field. In this unprecedented time, it's our local broadcasters who have stepped up to provide comfort, entertainment, home team cheers, and most importantly, critical, often life-saving information when our communities have needed it most. So thank you for all you do, congratulations, and we'll see you soon.
Good evening. I'm Alan Seals, Chief Meteorologist at NBC 15 WPMI TV in Mobile, Alabama. I am honored to be a part of this special occasion. I'm also appreciative of everyone who worked hard to produce this virtual award ceremony, allowing us to safely celebrate another year of journalistic excellence. We, as well as our neighbors in Louisiana, have had quite an eventful and record hurricane season, and I sure hope it's really over. In our region, we're all accustomed to severe and extreme weather events, and I am privileged to be among the journalists and weather professionals to serve as the voice of trust and comfort for our communities. But even more so, I'm always pleased to see communities persevere and prevail after a storm. I'm excited to present the next block of categories in news and program specialty. These recognize excellence in enterprising journalism, in-depth stories that impact all aspects of everyday life. They include business, finance, and consumer affairs stories, news and features of value to youth and coverage of schools and education, topics that affect our communities such as crime, health and science and the environment, stories that highlight the richness of our diverse culture, and human interest pieces that inspire and uplift our spirits. Here are the nominations.
In the category of Education, Schools, News, the nominees are Classrooms in Crisis, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Escuela al Progreso, Infobuy, Miami, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Chartered, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Fortnite, Adicción Silenciosa, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Escuela al Progreso, Marcos Stupenengo, Infobae, Miami, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Mi nombre es Pablo Isaías Hernández Salazar, soy de aquí de Pesquería. Curso cuarto semestre del bachillerato técnico en mecatrónica. Cuando yo cumplí los 9 años, surgió un problema con mi padrastro y tuve que salir de mi casa.
In the category of Education, Schools, Program, the nominees are Igniting the Future School Choice, WJXT-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. A Salute to the Class of 2020, WDSU-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. 5,000 Role Models at MDC, MDC-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are 2 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Igniting the Future, School Choice. Melanie Lawson, WJXT TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
Hi, I'm Melanie Lawson, and as a parent of school-age children myself, I understand the passion in our community about educating our children in the best way possible.
The Emmy also goes to a salute to the class of 2020. Gabrielle Boykin, Brittany Broomfield, Aubrey Killian, Gina Swanson, Deanna Faust, WDSU TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
The rites of passage for the class of 2020, stripped away by the coronavirus pandemic.
It's not fair. We're missing things we wait our entire life for.
In the category of Children Youth Program, the nominees are Marlins Clubhouse, Curtis Granderson hosting, FSN Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Corazones Guerreros, Especial Proyecto Guajira, Trinitas Productions, Mega TV, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Corazones Guerreros, Especial Proyecto Guajira, Natalia De Negri, Alan Hasenfeld, Estefania Monk, Felix Morantes, Nelson Bustamante, Trinitas Productions, Mega TV, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Corazón guerrero.
La cuarentena no detiene nuestro deseo de ayudar a nuestra gente. Por eso te invitamos a que nos acompañes en un viaje maravilloso, donde seremos testigos de cómo los sueños se hacen realidad. Bienvenidos a este programa especial de Corazones Guerreros, Proyecto Guajira.
In the category of Crime News, the nominees are Watchdog Cold Case, A New Path to Jennifer Kessie, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. There Wasn't a Murder Here or Anything, WFLA TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. My DNA Solved the Murder, WKMG TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. ID theft victim wrongly jailed, WKMG TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Soy inocente en el corredor de la muerte, WRMD Telemundo, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to There Wasn't a Murder Here or Anything, Masa Saedi, Jim Hockett, WFLA TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Linda Kobus feels she was victimized twice. First, by the crime, a break-in when the family was away, then by the investigation and what came next.
I said, there wasn't a murder here or anything. I mean, why did they do so many areas?
And the next Emmy goes to ID theft victim wrongly jailed, Mike DeForest, Darren Caudle, WKMG TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
I'm gonna have you come right over here, all right?
During Bike Week, Daytona Beach police stopped this man for a minor traffic infraction. That's when officers discovered an arrest warrant. If he looks surprised, it's because this biker has never been in trouble.
And the Emmy also goes to Soy Inocente en el Corredor de la Muerte, Osdel Porro, Milton Lugo, John Sarmiento, WRMD Telemundo, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
A 165 millas de Tampa se encuentra el pueblo de Rayford, ubicado en el condado Union. Esta área sirve de sede de la institución correccional Union. Por 12 años, Nelson Iván Serrano, un ecuatoriano de 81 años, se encuentra allí recluido. Él espera su ejecución por un crimen.
In the category of Crime Program, the nominee is The Making of Filthy Rich, The Epstein Story, WPTV, West Palm Beach, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to The Making of Filthy Rich, The Epstein Story, Eric Altman, Shannon Cake Giamo, WPTV, West Palm Beach, Florida.
The Making of Filthy Rich, The Epstein Story.
Good evening and welcome to The Making of Filthy Rich, The Epstein Story. I'm Shannon Cake.
For so many of us, we followed every twist and turn, the riveting and oftentimes galvanizing Jeffrey Epstein.
In the category of business consumer, the nominees are High Water Bills Make Affordable Housing Unaffordable, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Carritos en Fuga, WSCV-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ahorro Costoso, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Maxwell Leon versus Blue Cross of Florida, WINK-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida. Brightline Train Station Comes to OIA, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Ahorro Costoso, Erika Carrillo, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Encender una luz en su casa le dispara los nervios a Rosa Márquez.
Yo me puse tan nerviosa que caí en una depresión.
Ella quería ahorrar en su cuenta de luz y dice que se confió en la oferta del vendedor de esta compañía. Green Solutions Solar and Renewable.
In the category of environment, news, the nominees are Se Nos Mueren las Sirenas, Our Mermaids Are Dying, WRMD Telemundo, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Stench of Failure, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Boat Graveyard, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Protecting Paradise, The Race to Save Florida's Coral Reefs. Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Victims of Progress, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. What's in the Water, WPLG-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. En las profundidades del epicentro, WAPA-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Basura Ilegal, WSCV-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are 2 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Se Nos Mueren las Sirenas, Our Mermaids Are Dying, Brailín García, Milton Lugo, William Vélez, WRMD Telemundo, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Amanece en Florida. Noviembre trae consigo aires más frescos. A simple vista, la tranquilidad reina en estas aguas, pero bajo la superficie, el mundo es mucho más complejo. La migración de los manatíes ha comenzado y muy pronto a los santuarios de nuestro estado llegarán más de 7,000 de estos gigantescos.
And the Emmy also goes to Stench of Failure, TJ Pipitone, David Hammer, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
We all know rotting garbage is stinky, and it's even worse when it gets wet. So you can bet the stink is sickening when it rains on a 100-foot-tall mound of rotting garbage. Of course, that happens a lot at landfills here in southeast Louisiana.
In the category of environment, program, the nominees are Changing Seas, American Samoa's Resilient Coral Reefs, WPBT-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Changing Seas, A Decade After Deep Water, WPBT-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Australia Beyond the Fires, Picante Films, Black Hole Enterprises, Trinitas Productions, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Changing Seas, Florida's Blue Holes, Oasis in the Sea, WPBT-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. NBC6, Climate Check Special, WTVJ-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. WESH2 Chronicle, Wasted, How Your Recycling Gets Trashed, WESH-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Changing Seas, Peru's Desert Penguins, WPBT-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Changing Seas, American Samoa's Resilient Coral Reefs, Alexa Elliott, Sean Hickey, WPBT, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Here in the Pacific Islands, coral reefs are so integral to the culture. Every facet of life in a Pacific island is touched by reefs in some way.
The reefs in American Samoa are highly diverse.
We have over 250 known species of coral in the territory.
And the next Emmy Award goes to Changing Seas, a decade after Deepwater. Sean Hickey, Liz Smith, Norman Silva, WPBT TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
As a result of the developing spill, the Gulf of Mexico Research Initiative, or GOMRI, was created with a $500 million grant from BP for peer-reviewed, independent research on the impacts of the Deepwater Horizon disaster.
And the Emmy also goes to Changing Seas, Peru's Desert Penguins, Alexa Elliott, Sean Hickey, Luis Maru, David Diaz, WPBT TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
These flightless birds may look adorably goofy on land, but they are highly adapted for life at sea.
They are like torpedo-shaped seabirds. It's like they fly underwater, and they can reach high speeds. They are very, very fast swimmers.
In the category of Health Science News, the nominees are Firefighter Cancer Scan, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Forced Out of Florida, WPEC-TV, West Palm Beach, Florida. Clean Badge of Honor, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Seized, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
And the Emmy Award goes to Firefighter Cancer Scan, Heather Bailey, Allison Kropf, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
You know, the darker and blacker we can make our helmets, you know, the more, you know, respect you have as a badge of honor type of thing, right?
His mind started to change after an annual physical at the fire station.
He said, carcinoma, that means cancer. Like, that can't be right. I'm 31 years old. That didn't make any.
In the category of Health Science Program, the nominees are Finding Normal in an Electrical Storm, Inventi Media Group, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Perfect Match, One Blood Inc., Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Living a Full Life with a Royal Disease, Inventi Media Group, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Cambio de Sexo con Piel de Pescado, WSBS-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Coronavirus, Fact versus Fiction, WJAX-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. Gator Egg Hunt, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Finding Normal in an Electrical Storm, Brian Capozzi, Bob Baruchian, Joseph Jabali, Eugenio Wilman, Alexander Baruchian, Inventi Media Group, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Every time that Joshua has a seizure, that's it. I feel it. I feel that I'm having that seizure, you know, right with him.
Maya had her first seizure when she was around 6 months old. It's not easy and it's not going to be easy, but we're optimistic.
The future will just be an explosion in progress in treating brain disease, and are just incredibly.
And the next Emmy goes to Cambio de Sexo con Piel de Pescado, Alexander Oyola, WSBS-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Colombia da importantes avances en la ciencia médica. El cirujano plástico Álvaro Rodríguez practicó la primera vaginoplastia con piel de pescado a una transexual en la ciudad de Cali. La operación tardó algo más de 3 horas y pronto será realizada a 10 personas.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Gator Egg Hunt, Kiri Crossgrave, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
We know Florida for a lot of incredible things. At times, it's as though the laws of nature are just a bit different here.
2, 1, 0, and lift off.
But like everywhere else, science rules here as well. And I'm researching how it all ticks, from the incredible rockets to the iconic creatures in our series.
In the category of Historic Cultural, the nominees are He Knew When No One Else Did, WZBN-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida. El Sabor del Dominó, WTMO Telemundo Orlando, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. La Nueva Cara de Miami, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Locally roasted, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Isla y Vuelta, La Música Caribeña Evoluciona. Third Eye Productions, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Trem, Death of a Neighborhood, Survival of a Culture. WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
There are 2 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to La Nueva Cara de Miami, María Alesia Sosa, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Miami. Tierra de inmigrantes, lugar donde convergen decenas de culturas. Algunos bromean, la ciudad latinoamericana más cercana a Estados Unidos. En el condado de Miami-Dade viven 2.76 millones de personas.
And the Emmy also goes to Isla y Vuelta, La Música Caribeña Evoluciona, Harold Jesurún, Third Eye Productions, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
La música caribeña está evolucionando. En Puerto Rico se fusiona la plena tradicional y en la República Dominicana se rescata la identidad cultural fusionando sonidos autóctonos. Como caribeña, quiero conocer los ritmos de nuestras islas hermanas, porque en ellos también hay un poco de nosotros.
In the category of Human Interest, News Single Story Feature, the nominees are Rescue and Recovery, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Semper Fi Goodbye, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. A Picture of Hope, The Drew Cohn Story, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. Story to Share, Once a Marine, Always a Marine, WBBH-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida. Un Trabajo Inesperado, Info by Miami, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Mother's Milk Bank of Florida, WESH-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Autor de su Futuro, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. How's Donna, WAFB-TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Myra's Mission, WOFL-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Afectados por el coronavirus, esenciales y sin ayudas, la crisis de los trabajadores del campo. Univisión Noticias Digital, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. A través de sus ojos, Univisión Digital, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Engines that Power Hope, Bella Studios, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
There are several recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Rescue and Recovery, Karen Swenson, Derek Waldrip, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Mayday, mayday, we have a man who just went through the roof. Mayday, mayday.
I heard it come over the radio.
We have a firefighter who is going through the roof.
The first physical thing I felt was my knees buckle.
But I'm very concerned about the wonderful and brave firefighters.
I was begging him to please save his life.
And the next Emmy goes to A Picture of Hope, The Drew Cohn Story, Nick Moran, Heather Crawford, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
This is a picture of hope.
We'll get you at the U-turn, don't you worry.
Picture of faith. A picture of determination and perseverance.
Come on, Drew.
First of all, I have to give all of the glory to God, because I don't know where I would be without Jesus.
And the next Emmy goes to Story to Share, Once a Marine, Always a Marine. Sean Martinelli, Sebastian Gonzalez, WBBH-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida.
You're not a World War II veteran.
Yes, I am.
I need to see your ID. You don't look old enough. That only tells me that you're Thai. Welcome to your memorial.
It doesn't take long for the magnitude of this moment to settle.
Humbling, really.
Humbling.
Yes, it is. We were just doing our duty.
The next Emmy in this category goes to Un Trabajo Inesperado, Marcos Stupenengo, Infobae, Miami, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Es muy difícil ser mujer acá en Veladero porque son muchos hombres y somos muy pocas mujeres. Por ejemplo, en esta área de perforación somos 3 chicas nada más. He tenido muchos compañeros que se han quedado asombrados de cómo trabajamos las mujeres.
The Emmy also goes to Afectados por el coronavirus, esenciales y sin ayudas, la crisis de los trabajos del campo. Patricia Vélez Santiago, Mauricio Rodríguez, Andrea Zarate, Univisión Noticias Digital, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Antes nos decían ilegales y ahora somos esenciales.
And the next Emmy goes to A través de sus ojos, Nidia Cavazos, José Osuna, Julio Dávila, Univisión Digital, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Ahí a los niños le venden cocaína en las escuelas. Ahí hay que pagar un puesto de guerra cada semana y si no lo pagan lo van a matar. Siempre mataban ahí la gente a la parte de la escuela y tenía que estar la policía ahí.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Engines That Power Hope, Morela Giordana, Carlos López Lai, Natalia Rivera, Carlos Aponte, Margarita Coto Torres, Lucy Rivera, Juan Pablo Soto Adamés, Bella Studios, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
El huracán María destapó una pobreza que existía en esta comunidad. Tenemos una comunidad que era como olvidada. La gente perdió el 100% de sus cosas, carros, comida, aquellos alimentos que ellos tenían para poder mantenerse.
In the category of human interest, news series, the nominees are Mujeres en Guardia, WJAN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. La Lucha de Mario, WTMO Telemundo Orlando, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Story to Share, WBBH-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida. Story to Share, Greg Goes to Washington, WBBH-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida. K8, Dentro del Infierno, WSCB-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy Award goes to Story to Share, Sean Martinelli, Sebastian Gonzalez, Todd Offenbeck, WBBH-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida.
For nearly his entire adult life, Jim has spent his time helping others keep track of theirs. Most of his handmade clocks are given as gifts.
I cut this thumb off.
Even if they have come at a loss.
You can tell the difference. That's my toe they put on there.
A thumb is a small price to pay.
In the category of human interest, program feature segment special, the nominees are Sofía Giraud No Se Quita, Fundación Yo No Me Quito, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Sed de Esperanza, WSBS-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. A Boy and His Bronco, WLAE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Unfinished Portraits, Dylan's Story, Inventi Media Group, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Carl Just, In the Heart of Little Haiti, WPBT-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Majo, Querer es Poder, Trinitas Productions, Mega TV, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Women in Polo, The Palm Beaches, Comar Productions, West Palm Beach, Florida. Hay que Intentarlo, Billionaires Group, Creative Mountain Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Mi Hermana, Creative Mountain Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Hay que Intentarlo, Yulma García, Cristi Espinosa, Jorge Torrealba, Julio Méndez Jr., Juan Manuel Hernández Husband, Billionaires Group, Creative Mountain Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Para mí el arte es todo. Yo veo arte en todo, me gusta ver el trabajo de los demás, me gusta apreciar las cosas que de repente tú lo ves normal, una reja de una casa, y para mí eso yo lo veo y ahí hay arte. El arte para mí es cuando logras expresar exactamente lo que ves y lo que quieres, y no lo que alguien más quiere.
To honor this year's Gold Circle inductee, please welcome back NADA's Suncoast Chapter President, Barbara Alfonso.
The Gold Circle recognizes individuals who have worked with distinction in the television industry for 50 years or more. a portion of which was done within the Suncoast region of the state of Florida, the state of Louisiana, the Mobile, Alabama, Pensacola, Florida television market, and Puerto Rico. This year, we honor Mel Showers with this prestigious recognition. A Mobile native, Mel Showers is a news icon in the Mobile, Pensacola television market. He began his career at WKRG News 5 in 1969 and transitioned from booth announcer, providing live station identification and reading live commercials, to reporter in 1974, covering many beats, including courts, local police, the Alabama legislature, and Mobile County and city governments. As WKRG's general manager, Jesse Greer, states, Mel has been the voice of calm during some of the most dramatic times in Alabama history, covering incredibly impactful and memorable stories, including Hurricane Frederick in 1979 and the KKK lynching of Michael Donald in Mobile in 1981. In 2016, Showers was inducted into the Alabama Broadcasters Association Hall of Fame, and he retired in 2019 after an illustrious career. Please join me in congratulating Mel and his family.
Congratulations, Mel, on receiving the Gold Circle Award. What an incredible achievement. Buenas noches desde Puerto Rico. Qué alegría estar con ustedes y ser parte de esta celebración tan especial. I'm Nuria Sebasco, freelance news reporter for Telemundo Puerto Rico. I'm so excited to join all of you tonight, and I hope you're enjoying this wonderful award ceremony. Congratulations to all of this year's nominees and award recipients so far. In this next segment, we continue with news and program specialty, programming and spot announcements, recognizing excellence in coverage of military issues, politics and government, religion and societal concerns, as well as commercial productions. Campaigns that promote news image or news stories, draw awareness to worthy causes, and much more. Here are the nominations. Suerte a todos.
In the category of military, the nominees are Tractor Across America, WPEC-TV, West Palm Beach, Florida; Soldier Denied Justice, WFLA-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida; Circle of Heroes, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Good evening, I'm Chris Safadi. I'm a board member of the Suncoast chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences and also a news anchor at Wink TV in Fort Myers. Congratulations to all the nominees who have continued to shine despite the challenges of this pandemic. And the Emmy goes to Circle of Heroes, Bobby Lewis and Mike Garner, WTSP, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota.
It's just sad thinking about the guys who don't come back.
Yeah, I haven't seen this before. It really takes your breath away.
What took years of planning has finally come together. 12 statues standing in a ring of remembrance.
Wow, that's amazing.
A place honoring the men and women who gave it all for our freedom.
In the category of politics government, the nominees are I-4 Tour, Paramore, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida; Scandal on the Bench, WBRZ-TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana; Abused, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida; Selling Assessments, WAFB-TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana; Smoke and Mirrors, The Search for Truth About COVID-19, WKMG-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida; El Poder de un Pueblo, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico; Puerto Rico, Un Pueblo en Crisis, WSCV-TV, Miami-Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hi there, I'm Lauren Pastrana, news anchor at CBS 4 in Miami, and I am thrilled to be part of the 44th annual Suncoast Regional Emmy Awards presentation. We're so excited for all the recipients so far, but there are more Emmys to be awarded. There are 2 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Abused, Jenna Bourne, Lauren Ashley Powell, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Tampa 911 with the emergency emergency. This guy just stabbed the bus driver in the neck.
He's trying to penetrate the weapon into my heart.
I said, sir, you need to sit down. So he turned around and slapped me in my face.
Was the bus moving?
The bus was moving.
The Emmy also goes to El Poder de un Pueblo, Janet Torro Fantausi, Nidia Morales, Dialma Santiago, Yadira Delgado, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Bienvenidos al programa especial El Poder de un Pueblo, un repaso que va desde la indignación colectiva hasta la renuncia. Por primera vez en la historia de Puerto Rico, un gobernador y los más recientes y los escollos que enfrenta en Cámara y Senado el nominado al cargo de secretario.
In the category of religion, news, the nominees are Innocence Lost, WJXT-TV, Jacksonville, Florida; Miracle Baby, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana; Picture of Faith, WGNO-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana; Miracle Man, WJXT-TV, Jacksonville, Florida; Faith and Freedom, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
There are several recipients in this next category, and the first Emmy goes to Innocence Lost, Kelly Wiley and Jody Mormon, WJXT, Jacksonville.
Investigators detail in this 2016 grand jury report how hundreds of young boys and girls were sexually abused by priests in the Altoona-Johnstown Diocese in Pennsylvania.
Like I said, it was a molester's heaven here.
Investigators say the crimes of predator priests were covered up for decades by church officials who kept meticulous secret record.
The next Emmy goes to Miracle Baby, Karen Swenson and Derek Waldrop, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
This is a story of a young couple's journey through love, loss, and
I was just like in shock. I was like, oh my God.
so cute, an inexplicable shift of fate. One born on Mardi Gras Day, when Michelle and Brandon Coyle's firstborn arrived 3 weeks early.
I laid on the sofa and then...
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Picture of Faith, Bill Wood and Justin Abshire, WGNO-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Father Doug Bush celebrates Mass. On camera, and these days, online only.
The Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
For his congregation of 5,000 Louisiana families.
In the category of religion program, the nominees are My Shining Hour Story, My Shining Hour LLC, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida; My Brain Tumor, Yoga and Faith, Instinct Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to My Shining Hour Story, Steph Kars, My Shining Hour LLC, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
What are you doing here? At this point, I believe that grace was something I had to earn.
My God, how great thou art.
Let me share with you my story.
In the category of societal concerns news, the nominees are Desconectados, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida; Florida lawmaker pushing to allow all immigrants the chance to get driver's licenses, WFTS-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Desconectados, Raine Anciani, Randy Garcia, Alexis Lopez, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Estamos pasando más tiempo que nunca conectados a pantallas.
La dependencia creciente del ser humano a la tecnología, sobre todo en la dinámica familiar, puede afectar su interacción social.
Si me quitan el teléfono,
In the category of Societal Concerns program, the nominees are Powerless, Tampa Bay Times, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Kids Sold for Sex, How Children Are Branded, Sold, and Arrested. WFTS-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Securing Our Schools, WPTV, West Palm Beach, Florida.
There are 2 recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Powerless, John Pendergraft, Tampa Bay Times, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Very first day of school, I got to the high school to see my son being put into the back of a police car.
There you go. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
And the Emmy also goes to Kids Sold for Sex, How Children Are Branded, Sold, and Arrested. Aaron Smith, Kylie McGivern, Jackie Calloway, Matt McGlashan, Adam Walser, Sarah Grossbarth, Randy Wright, Wendy Ryan, and Sandra Scagliotti. WFTS-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Kids Sold for Sex, and it's happening right here in the Bay Area.
It's like branding cattle. It's an ownership mark.
Bright futures turning brutal.
I really just wish that things would have been different, or that I was stronger.
You wake up at 5 a.m. and I could be sold anywhere from 25 to 40 times.
In the category of Informational Instructional, the nominees are Our Last Chance, Preserving Cape Canaveral, University of South Florida, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Follow the Water, Heavy Air Media, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Our Last Chance, Preserving Cape Canaveral, Jared Brown, University of South Florida, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
It's a large part of our history. I mean, we look at things that are going on today, such as SpaceX and the ideas of sending people to Mars and back to the moon again. Well, where did all of this start? It started 60 years ago at Cape Canaveral.
The Emmy also goes to Follow the Water, Javier Carrion and Stephanie Tianco, Heavy Air Media, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
The Everglades provides precious wildlife habitats, fresh water for millions of people, and unparalleled outdoor recreation. Today, this valuable landscape is at risk. This biosphere is squeezed between rising seas and ecosystems that are degraded by man-made flood control systems.
In the category of Interstitial, the nominees are Hometown Hero, WLRN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Go Louisiana, WLAE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
The Emmy Award goes to Hometown Hero, James March, Mia Lorenzo, and Michael Anderson, WLRN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
I'm Winston Scott, retired U.S. Navy captain, naval aviator, and NASA astronaut. Flew 2 space shuttle missions, 9 days on the space shuttle Endeavour on STS-72, and then 16 days on the space shuttle Columbia.
In the category of Lifestyle Program, the nominees are Mark Wilson's Makin' Waves, WTVT-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Food for Thought with Jorge Estevez, 7th Art Force, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Houseboat Rehab, Ready, Set, Renovate, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Swimming with Casper the Friendly Alligator, WSVN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Food for Thought with George Estevez, John Anderson, Sean Fernandez, George Estevez, David Harrison, and Sean Ryan Noonan, 7th Art Force, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
On this episode of Food for Thought, meet a man who's traveled America as a military brat. a trucker, and a biker gang member. A man who's pursued a career in some of the finest restaurants in America, only to give it all up in search of a new direction in life.
In the category of magazine program, the nominees are Driven, Concours d'Elegance, WLAE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana, Taste and See Tampa Bay, WFTS-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida, Doc and Dine, Comar Productions, West Palm Beach, Florida.
There are 2 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Driven, Concours d'Elegance, Tom Gregory, Carolina Loretto, Ron Yeager, and Jim Dotson, WLAE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Now on Driven. At the intersection of history, luxury, and sport, there is only one stop: Newport, Rhode Island. It's history in the making at this first Concours event ever held in America's first resort.
Concours d'Elegance.
Concours d'Elegance.
Concours d'Elegance.
And the Emmy also goes to Doc and Dine, Amanda Prince, Jim Gallagher, Michelle Flores, Jason Pereira, Comar Productions, West Palm Beach, Florida.
I'm Chef Jason Pereira, and my 2 passions are food and boating. I was raised in St. Kitts, speck in the Atlantic Ocean. I grew up fishing and basically learning from my dad and the chefs. I kind of have this island accent, this dialect, and when I go back, I get my guavas, my mangoes, coconuts.
You have a banana.
In the category of Nostalgia Program, the nominees are Birth of the Brews, WYES-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana, the National World War II Museum, AWE News, New Orleans, Louisiana, Central Florida Road Trip, Parks of the Past, WUCF-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, Aquí Están Los Míos, Television Marti, Office of Cuba Broadcast, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Central Florida Road Trip, Parks of the Past, Buddy Pittman, Phil Hoffman, WUCF-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Welcome to a journey through history. This is Central Florida Road Trip.
Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Central Florida Road Trip. I'm your host.
In the category of Public, Current, Community Affairs, the nominees are First to Respond, Last to Ask for Help, Crisis Center of Tampa Bay, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida, A Break for Impact, Eyes of the Night, Video at CDL, UCF Center for Distributed Learning, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, How America's Worst Affordable Housing Shortage is Hurting Tourism Workers, Orlando Sentinel, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
There are 2 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to First to Respond, Last to Ask for Help, Phil Selly, Jennifer Noble, Crisis Center of Tampa Bay, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Swimming has always been my solace. It has been the place where I have found incredible peace. My mom tried me in soccer and all sorts of different sports, and I just didn't have that coordination. But when she threw me into the pool, it was truly this fish out of water, finally finding her home.
The Emmy also goes to A Break for Impact, Eyes of the Night, Aaron Hose, Christine Kane, and Tim Reed. Video at CDL, UCF Center for Distributed Learning, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
We got a call at 4:30 in the morning by one of the attorneys that we met for an opportunity to go see these clandestine planes.
What you're going to see is an airplane being loaded with people. They're going to be flown this morning to Honduras. Sometimes it's Guatemala, sometimes it's El Salvador. There are 2 charter airlines that are running these flights.
In the category of Community Public Service PSAs, the nominees are Superhéroes, Trinitas Productions, Mega TV, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, The Water We Share, Heavy Air Media, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Census 2020, hashtag Cuenta Conmigo, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Tiempo de Cambiar, WJAN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. One Pack, Digital Brew, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Together, Clutch, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Florida Farm to School Awareness Video, More Inc., Tallahassee, Florida.
There are 2 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Superhéroes, Natalia Denegri, Carmen Victoria Pardo, Nelson Bustamante. Trinitas Productions, Mega TV, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Descubrimos que sus máscaras son diferentes, pero son héroes igual. Ayudan a los demás, pelean contra el mal, no se rinden. Pensándolo bien, no todo es tan malo. El coronavirus ha traído más héroes, que van llenando el mundo de corazones guerreros.
The Emmy also goes to Tiempo de Cambiar, Emilio Braun, Darwin Robles, Alejandra Pinera, WJAN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Para volver a abrazar, compartir, vivir y dar. Y sobre todo, para darnos un respiro. Y así, volver a gatear.
In the category of Promotion, News Promo, Single Spot Campaign Image, the nominees are Stay Festive Acadiana, KADN-TV, Lafayette, Louisiana. Noticiero Telemundo 51, Contigo Primero, WSCV-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 10 Tampa Bay Brand Launch, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Fox 8, officiating the official. WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. WESH-2, News Everywhere. WESH-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. The Whole Story, WJAX-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. Telemundo 51, Contigo en la Distancia. WSCV-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to 10 Tampa Bay Brand Launch, Lorraine Apperson, Michael Weber, Andrew Caliendo, Rob Bourne, Gail Bove, Jeffrey Crowell, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. And the next Emmy goes to The Whole Story, Craig Davenport, Jacob Bryan, WJAX-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
When you see a story from one angle, it seems clear what's going on. But when you see it from another angle, the whole story changes. And the fact that we have more local reporters everywhere is how you get the whole story, changing how you see local news. On CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Emmy also goes to Telemundo 51, Contigo en la Distancia. Fanny Hoyos, Susan Solano Vila, Ubaldo Medina, WSCV-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Contigo en la distancia, todos los días estoy.
In the category of Promotion, Program, Single Spot, the nominees are Dolphins Cancer Challenge, This Is Me. Clutch, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Medical Stories Promo. Inventi Media Group, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Juntos Podemos, WRMD Telemundo, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. In Good Hands, Vela Visuals, Amerivita Home Care, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Dreamer, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Starmark, Greater Fort Lauderdale, CVB, History Video. Diamond View Studios, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Juntos Podemos, Tito Berga, Hansel Valdez, Jorge Cortez, Esteban J. Serrano Sanchez, Michael Martinez, WRMD Telemundo, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Volveremos a reunirnos con la familia, los amigos. Volveremos a llenar las calles de vida. Y al final, nos daremos cuenta que volver a empezar es la más grande oportunidad de la vida. Juntos podemos lograrlo.
The next Emmy goes to In Good Hands, Sean Vela, Mark Miller, Nicole Joseph, Vela Visuals, Amerivita Home Care, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
You have a medical fragile child with all these different tubings living in a very tiny place where nurses were not even able to hardly move in that RV where he was living.
Anyone with special needs, ultimately, they are just like you and I.
We're just getting his son in right now.
Who is there to deal with their problems or their issues that they're going through? Who is there to support?
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Dreamer, Nick Nanton, J.W. Dix, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
I'm normally known as Dr. Yes. When you came to see me, everything said I should say yes. I don't know why no came out of my mouth, but strangely, if I had said yes, we may not all be sitting here today with our spaceship in the hangar next door.
People ask, when do you give up on your dream? If it is your true passion, your massively transformative purpose, the answer is never.
In the category of Promotion, Program, Campaign, the nominees are Fun with Marbles, FSN Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Navidad 2019. WSCV TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Clear the Shelters, Desocupar los Albergues 2019. WSCV TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are two recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Fun with Marbles, Jason Palante, Josh Hansen, FSN Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Game tied, bottom of the ninth. Brian Anderson steps up for the Marlins against the Nats' Sean Doolittle. One swing could win it here for Anderson and the Marlins. Doolittle gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And it's knocked deep into left center field, and she is gone. Brian Anderson wins the game for the Marlins. A home run into left center field, and the Marlins win the game.
The Emmy also goes to Clear the Shelters, Desocupar los Albergues 2019. Fanny Hoyos, Ubaldo Medina, Susan Solano Vila, Crisbel Tobon, Dario Nani. WSCV TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Este día estará lleno de emoción, de alegría, de sorpresas. ¿Sí me están escuchando, no? Atentos, concentrados y sobre todo relajados. Hay que estar relajados, actuar naturales, porque hoy es un día muy importante. Hoy es el día más importante.
Adopta una mascota y ayúdanos a desocupar los albergues. El sábado 17 de agosto encuentra a tu mejor amigo.
Maquillaje no es para mí, para mi amigo.
In the category of Promotion, Program, Sports, the nominees are Fun with Funco, FSN Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Saints vs. Vikings Playoff Game Promotion, New Orleans Saints, Metairie, Louisiana. Day by Night, Brandon Knight. Blueprint Pro, Remy Workouts, West Palm Beach, Florida. McKethan Stadium, Opening Day 2020, Gator Vision, Gainesville, Florida. Saints schedule release promotion. New Orleans Saints and Pelicans, Metairie, Louisiana. Why we raise the flags. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Return to glory, Buccaneers uniform tees. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Super Bowl kickoff video, Van Wagner Productions.
There are 2 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Day by Night, Brandon Knight, David Merrill, Blueprint Pro, Remy Workouts, West Palm Beach, Florida. The Emmy also goes to Return to Glory, Buccaneers uniform tees, Stephen Lynch, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
In the category of Promotion Program Image, the nominees are Empty Streets, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. Me TV, Familiar Faces, WESH-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Riding the Bull, The Zachary Group, Tallahassee, Florida.
There are 2 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Empty Streets, Natalie Thurlow, Aletha Rideout, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
If there's one thing this year has taught us, it's to never take anything for granted. Cherish every moment. Take time to breathe. There is a light at the end, and we're one day closer to seeing it shine. First Coast News.
The Emmy also goes to Me TV, Familiar Faces, Trevor Cassidy, Kip Christine, Mark Moorer, and Steve Rifkin, Wesh TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
All I wanna see is Me TV. It's my Me TV. All I wanna see is Me TV. It's my Me TV.
Right here on Me TV.
In the category of commercials, the nominees are Ciudad de Gladiadores, Gladius, San Juan, Puerto Rico. The Legend, The Zachary Group, Tallahassee, Florida. Female to Male Top Surgery HZ Plastic Surgery. NG Production Films Inc., Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. El Poder de Contar Historias, Atlantic University College, Guaynabo, Puerto Rico. AHRI WebSpot, Studio Say So Inc., Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Ultimate Medical Academy, Face It. Diamond View Studios, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Regal Boats, 50 years. Diamond View Studios, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. PureFit, Move. Diamond View Studios, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category. The first Emmy Award goes to Ciudad de Gladiadores, Eri Martinez de Dios, Nicole Betancourt, Yamil I. Medina Carrasquillo, Yanelis Barro Matthew. Gladius, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Liderazgo. Orgullo. Ven y demuestra el gladiador en ti. Atlantic University College.
And the next Emmy goes to The Legend, Gary Jordan, Joshua McLawhorn, Michelle Falanga, The Zachary Group, Tallahassee, Florida.
Legends aren't made looking up at the bull. Legends are etched when they look past the obvious and see the unique. Legends are built when hanging on to the bull is just the beginning. Bow stern, where your legend begins.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to El Poder de Contar Historias, Andrew Hernandez Sepúlveda, Evan Moreno, Obed Rodriguez, Atlantic University College, Guaynabo, Puerto Rico.
Todo tiene algo que decirnos, pero ese todo comienza con un mensaje. Este es el poder que tenemos para contar historias.
As we celebrate your achievements tonight, we would love for you to post your acceptance speeches to social media and share with friends and family. Use the hashtag Suncoast Emmys 2020 and tag us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Suncoast Emmys. We also want to see how you're celebrating, so feel free to post pictures throughout the night. And don't forget to tag us and use that hashtag at Suncoast Emmys and hashtag Suncoast Emmys 2020.
Good evening. What an amazing award ceremony this has been so far. The work being recognized tonight is nothing short of spectacular, and we still have so much more to celebrate. I'm Joy Purdy, news anchor here at News4Jax, WJXT TV4 in Jacksonville, Florida, and I am honored to present the next segment of categories. The sound, look, and feel of any production has the power to elevate already amazing stories to extraordinary heights. The artistic arrangement of just the right piece of music, sound bites, and visual effects is crucial to help audiences deeply connect with the story. Tonight, we honor the individuals whose work is being recognized for excellence in the craft achievement categories of editor, audio, musical composition, graphic arts, and technical achievement. In this section, we also recognize the category of documentary for excellence in the creation of a structured television presentation that brings to light the dramatic impact of an event, condition, or situation of current cultural or historical significance. The best of luck to all the nominees.
In the category of documentary cultural, the nominees are Singular, WPBT-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida; Lisa Nichols, Born to Win, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida; Subterráneo, Television Marti, Office of Cuba Broadcast, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida; My Survivor, Levine and Company Creative Television and Film, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida; Nido Cubain, Extraordinary is a Choice, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Singular, Dennis Scholl, Marlon Johnson, and Lena McLaurin-Salvant, WPBT-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
For jazz music, for art, it's a true blessing and a gift to the world that she's in existence.
The feeling
Of her generation, Cecile McLaurin-Salvant is singular.
And the next Emmy goes to Lisa Nichols, Born to Win, J.W. Dix, Nick Nanton, Giovanni Marsico, Carlo Alberto Orchea, Brandon Colon, Larry King, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
I didn't start out thinking that I would be in The Secret or 7 New York Times. I started in South Central Los Angeles. Many would say an overzealous child, a big dreamer. Always wanted to find the edge of the box, only to find out that there was no box.
The Emmy also goes to My Survivor, Jerry Levine, Mindy Hirsch, Bonnie Ryder-Lehrer, Levine and Company Creative Television and Film, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Someone said to me the other day when I told them I was doing this, you're the last generation that's going to hear these stories firsthand. And that really hit me.
My sister's son.
Yeah. There won't be any more living evidence that this happened, and that's a little scary and definitely sad.
I wonder now what's going to happen next.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Nito Kuben, Extraordinary is a Choice. Nick Nanton, J.W. Dix, Larry King, Parker Yates, Nick Ruff, Brandon Colon, Carlo Alberto Orechea, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
I'm of Lebanese Jordanian background. My father was Jordanian, my mother was of Lebanese descent. My father died when I was 6 years of age. My mother brought us up. My mother had 4th grade education. There were 5 of us, 3 boys, 2 girls.
In the category of documentary historical, the nominees are Trago Amargo, Television Marti, Office of Cuba Broadcast, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. When We Were Apollo, WLRN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. WASP, A Wartime Experiment in Woman Power, 7th Art Force, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Filthy Dreamers, University of Central Florida, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Southwest Florida's Mangrove Coast, Live Oak Production Group, Tallahassee, Florida. The Restorers, Living History, Hemlock Films. Eyewitness to History, Apollo 11, 50 years later, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Bloodless, The Path to Democracy, Armanoid Productions, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are several recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to When We Were Apollo, Zachary Weil, WLRN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
I was born in El Paso, Texas, while my parents were there under special orders of Congress, Operation Paperclip. They were living in William Beaumont Annex housing at Fort Bliss with the Werner von Braun team.
And the next Emmy goes to WASP, A Wartime Experience in Woman Power. John Anderson, Rachel Wright, Joseph Stone, and Oliver Peters, 7th Art Force, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
2 unlikely pilots without any previous 4-engine flying experience were quickly trained to fly it. The 2 then toured B-29 bases and demonstrated to the men in training how graceful and maneuverable the gigantic plane could be. The men were stunned. Those 2 demonstration pilots were women. WASP, Women Air Force Service Pilots.
The Emmy also goes to The Restorers, Living History, Adam White, Hemlock Films.
Antique aircraft. The phrase summons images of a graveyard, abandoned by time. Aircraft parts and pieces left to rot for the ages.
In the category of documentary topical, the nominees are Troubled Waters, A Turtle's Tale, WLRN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Unprecedented, WTBJ-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Dreamer, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Heridos por la Dictadura, Infobuy Miami, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. A Single Step, Meraki Films Corp., Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. World Cup Spotlight, Kanya Plummer, Studio Say So Inc., Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Quinta Ruta, Show Group LLC, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 4 Families in Mafrac, Palm Beach Atlantic University, West Palm Beach, Florida. Periodismo en Dictadura, Picante Films, Black Hole Enterprises, Trinitas Productions, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are several recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Dreamer, Nick Nanton, J.W. Dix, Giovanni Marisco, Carlo Alberto Orechea, John Briggs, Ryan Ruff, Chris Lowe, Parker Yates. DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
I was born a long, long time ago in a country far, far away. in a city called Mashhad, Iran. When I was growing up, I looked at the night skies and looked at the stars and imagined myself floating up.
And the next Emmy goes to Heridos por la Dictadura, Marcos Stupenengo, Juan Vicente Manrique, Claudia Smolansky, Infobay, Miami, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Me pregunté, ¿por qué crees que tienes esa molestia? Bueno, porque imagino que debe haber algún cuerpo extraño en mi organismo ahorita. Ajá. Bueno, tu ojo se perdió hoy.
The next Emmy goes to A Single Step, Gerhard Rodriguez, Meraki Films Corp., Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yo empecé a buscar por Instagram y en Instagram veía una chama y de verdad los ejercicios que ella hacía, como que perro, yo quiero hacer esos ejercicios. Nunca me imaginé que nosotros podíamos hacer esos ejercicios, como ella había avanzado, no sé qué. Y mi papá estaba aquí, le dije, mira papá, vamos a ir a este lugar.
The Emmy also goes to Four Families in Mafraq, Israel Balderas, Palm Beach Atlantic University, West Palm Beach, Florida.
فكنت أنا أصور اللحظات هذه إطلاق النار على الناس مدنيين.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Periodismo en Dictadura, Luis Olavarrieta, Jorge Antonio Gonzalez, Nelson Bustamante, Natalia Denegri, Gabriel Sanz, Vanessa Rodriguez. Picante Films, Black Hole Enterprises, Trinitas Productions, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Soy reportero de Caraota Digital. Caraota Digital es un portal web que surgió y nació debido a la censura en los medios tradicionales.
In the category of editor news, the nominees are Desconectados, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Mujeres en Guardia, WJAN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Editing Characters, WGNO-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Matthew Apthorpe, EW Scripts, State Investigative Editor. WFTS-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. De Medicinal a Recreacional, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Los 12 días que cambiaron la historia, WAPA-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Innocence Lost, WJXT-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. Sueño Espacial, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Editor, WBBH-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida. Much Adobe About Nothing. Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Weathering the Storm, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Human Trafficking Series, WDSU-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
There are several recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Desconectados, Randy Garcia, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
La tecnología nos remite a Internet, computadoras y teléfonos inteligentes. Pero todo comenzó con ideas de simplificar las necesidades del hombre.
Primero empezó la revolución de la agricultura, después la revolución industrial.
And the next Emmy goes to Editing Characters, Justin Abshire, WGNO-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
How long have you suffered with this obsession?
I've suffered since I was a child, but it's grown more intense in the last 15 years. Mickey, umbrella.
Mark Markowitz is hooked.
Mickey around the world.
He just can't stop.
The next Emmy goes to Innocence Lost, Joseph Owens, WJXT-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
Decades stand between then
I was 13 years old.
and now.
Older boy.
But even today, Paul Clark can still feel the trauma he says he experienced.
The next Emmy in category Editor News goes to Editor Sebastian Gonzalez, WBBH-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida.
It's one of those things like, she told me that and it pretty much just ripped my heart out and stomped on it.
The breaking point came last summer when Brian needed to close shop to take care of his ailing dad. Bad sales got worse. Brian wrote on Facebook that the store would have to close for good, barring a miracle.
The Emmy also goes to Much Adobe About Nothing, Eugene, Buenaventura, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Jennifer Joyce Kessie disappeared from her Orlando condo on January 24th, 2006.
You miss the sound of her voice, the actual, you're starting to forget the inflections of her voice and what have you.
Help us find our daughter.
Over the last 14 years, Jennifer's parents, Drew and Joyce Kessie, have continued relentless search efforts, vowing to do whatever's necessary.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Weathering the Storm, Adam Kopis, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
But what do you do when it seems the rain just won't stop falling?
A most powerful hurricane.
Water attacking the city.
Water was pouring into the city. Some would say calling New Orleans the Big Easy post-Katrina is a misnomer. The storm displaced hundreds of thousands.
In the category of Editor, Program, Short Form, Sports, the nominees are Florida Gymnastics, SEC Champions, University of Florida, Gainesville, Florida. El Fin de los Glaciares, Picante Films, Black Hole Enterprises, Trinitas Productions, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Australia Beyond the Fires, Picante Films, Black Hole Enterprises, Trinitas Productions, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Bleed Purple Part 1, Orlando City Soccer Club, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Dreamer, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. A Day Under My Skin, Blue Wings World, Trinitas Productions, Epic in Motion, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Troubled Waters, A Turtle's Tale, WLRN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Away from Home, Blue Wings World, Trinitas Productions, Epic in Motion, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My Shining Hour Story, My Shining Hour LLC, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. We Kept America Great, Crystal Clear Media, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Periodismo en Dictadura, Picante Films, Black Hole Enterprises, Trinitas Productions, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Our Last Chance, Preserving Cape Canaveral, University of South Florida, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. A Single Step, Meraki Films Corp., Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My Survivor, Levine and Company Creative Television and Film, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This Is Me, the School District, Lee County, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida. Ciudad de Gladiadores, Gladius, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Max Miller, Tampa Bay Lightning, Opening Night Game Tees. FSN Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Kobe Bryant Tribute, Fox Sports Sun, Miami Heat, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Florida Gymnastics SEC Champions, Shelby Graneth, University of Florida, Gainesville, Florida.
You will be hard-pressed to find a better Yurchenko pull in the entire country than that one. It's a perfect score of a 9.95. Cannot get higher than that one. That ball, incredible.
And the next Emmy goes to Dreamer, Nick Ruff, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Dean Kamen is an intellectual and energy fireball. He's going 1,000 miles an hour all the time. He's always aimed over the horizon. From the beginning, Dean was anxious to change the world.
He's the real-life Iron Man. He literally has a workshop in his house like Iron Man where he builds and creates.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Periodismo en Dictadura, Jorge Antonio Gonzalez, Picante Films, Black Hole Enterprises, Trinitas Productions, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
La máscara antigas siempre la llevo y gracias a ella he ayudado a compañeros y a gente en la calle.
Tuve que prestar mi máscara a una persona que se encontraba en momento congestionado. Vemos la cantidad de heridos que están llegando.
El 2017 fue el año más complicado, complejo de las manifestaciones.
In the category of graphic arts, the nominees are Cyber Easy, powered by Nogan, Blue Leads, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida, Bean Pan Boom Open, Pixel Hanger, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, California Sleep Solutions, Digital Brew, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, Brain Trust, The Way Work Should Work, Digital Brew, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, Ciudad de Gladiadores, Gladius, San Juan, Puerto Rico, Flip Ride, Digital Brew, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, Jetson, Digital Brew, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, El Príncipe de los Juegos, Billionaires Group, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Pandemio y Covidia, León Animation Group, Caguas, Puerto Rico, Wade Legacy Set, The Miami Heat, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, The Florida Insider Fishing Report, RM Media Inc., Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are several recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Pin Pan Pum Open, Juan Somarriba, Amaranta Martinez, Pixel Hanger, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Atención, prepárense para el despegue. 2, 1, 0.
Somos tres extraterrestres volando en nuestro cohete. Venimos de una galaxia.
The next Emmy goes to Ciudad de Gladiadores, Eddie Martinez de Dios, Yamil I. Medina Carrasquillo, Hector Hoyle, Gabriel Rodriguez, Yanelis Barros Matthew, Gladius, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Un gladiador es determinación, persistencia, creatividad, talento.
The final Emmy in this category goes to El Príncipe de los Juegos, Carlos Martinez, Billionaires Group, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hubo una vez un tiempo en el que los padres y sus niños tuvieron que quedarse encerrados en casa ante la amenaza de un malvado virus que le robó la corona.
In the category of musical composition arrangement, the nominees are Música Quinta Ruta, Documental, Show Group LLC, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Away From Home, Blue Wings World, Trinitas Productions, Red Squid Studios, Epic in Motion, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, A Day Under My Skin, Blue Wings World, Trinitas Productions, Red Squid Studios, Epic in Motion, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, La Madre Tierra, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, El Príncipe de los Juegos, Billionaires Group, Ni Fu Ni Fa Oficial, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Concertante, MDC TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Concertante, Alberto Beatty, Marjorie Hahn, Brian Neal, Humberto Casanova, MDC TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hi, I'm Alberto Bade. I would like to share with you a musical story of COVID-19. The coronavirus has affected everyone. Among those affected have been musicians from across the globe. During this time, musicians have had to suffer not only the financial repercussions of this virus, but have had to endure the most devastating thing of all.
In the category of audio, the nominee is El Miedo, Audio Post-Production, IO Works, Inc., Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to El Miedo, Audio Post-Production, Enrique Diaz, IO Works, Inc., Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Papá, esto está hecho un caos. Los hospitales no tienen capacidad. La gente se está muriendo sin control. Y no solo en Milán, en toda Italia. Perdóname por no haberte hecho caso.
In the category of technical achievement, the nominees are Hurricane Dorian meets Dorothy, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Ciudad de Gladiadores, Gladius, San Juan, Puerto Rico. I Just Felt Like Running, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
There are 2 recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Hurricane Dorian meets Dorothy, John Strand, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
During her very first hurricane, Dorothy did her job.
I would call that a success.
Equipped with 3 cameras, 2 exterior and 1 inside the system, Dorothy was designed to be our eyes during hurricanes too dangerous for our crews.
She gets left behind, and that's her job.
And the Emmy also goes to Ciudad de Gladiadores, Eri Martinez de Dios, Yanelis Barros Matthew, Dicky Cruz, Enelis Rodriguez, Adadel Alvarez, Gladius, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Disciplina. Liderazgo. Orgullo.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Suncoast Chapter Board of Governor and Scholarship Chair, Claudia Keppinger.
Good evening. I'm Claudia Keppinger, Suncoast Scholarship Awards Chair. This year, the Suncoast Chapter awarded $78,500 in scholarships to 17 deserving students. Please join me in congratulating them for their outstanding achievements. A special award, the Bob Barron Scholarship, is also presented every year to an enterprising student who embodies the spirit of a trailblazer and innovator in our industry. This year, it was our pleasure to present the Bob Barron Scholarship Award in the amount of $10,000 to Christopher Columbus High School senior David Alexander Perez. David was a multimedia journalist for his nationally award-winning high school broadcast program CCNN Live and graduated at the top 15 percentile of his class. He's had many accolades for his work, including a Young Arts Award for his documentary filmmaking. But perhaps one of his most admirable qualities is his dedication to service. David spent his summers the past 7 years chronicling the journey of the Castaways Against Cancer, bringing awareness to the Relay for Life team that has raised more than $1 million. In addition, David continued his contribution to the fight against cancer by creating PSAs and stories for Sebastian Strong, an organization dedicated to the memory of Sebastian Ortiz, a young man who lost his battle with childhood cancer. We are so proud of David's accomplishments, and although like many he has been attending school virtually, we wish him all the best when he finally makes it to Florida State. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce the 2020 Bob Barron Scholarship Award recipient, David Alexander Perez.
I must say that I am beyond honored and humbled to be accepting this award tonight. A very special thank you to the Suncoast chapter and Carla McDonald for making this possible. I will firstly like to send an enormous salute to all of this year's applicants, many of whom have had my respect for a handful of years. Thank you to all those who have always encouraged me. Just to name a few, my broadcast teachers, Omar Delgado, Christina Insua, and Rafael Diaz. To my family, Mom, for always being a call away, even when the call was to become my private Uber driver, and Abuelo y Abuela, te quiero. They say it takes a village to raise a child, and I'm beyond grateful for those who have always supported me throughout my journey. This would not have been possible without each and every one of your contributions, and I hope I have not disappointed you all. It's a shame that we couldn't all be gathered to celebrate such an astonishing night. To all those who have been affected by this ongoing pandemic, I extend my deepest condolences. But it's a determination that each of the nominees tonight has shown throughout the widespread of COVID-19 that has encouraged me to follow my passion. Coming from a Cuban lineage, I've heard and seen the struggle my family has undertaken in order to ensure a just lifestyle for me and my brother. My grandparents, they gave up everything to ascertain the fact that their future relatives did not have to live in the sorrow and dolefulness of being restrained from verbalizing their minds, or lacking the education and ability to make a difference. And it's clear it was anything but an easy task. But they knew that the hardships were worth everything they fought for. Consequently, growing up, they were always watching the news or reading the press, to the point that they influenced me to do the exact same thing. And it was through their teachings that I was able to find the immense passion I have for broadcast journalism, to help give a voice to those who are unheard. And today, every time I tell someone's story, I do it for them, to show them that the suffering they went through was worth it. And I won't stop until I achieve my American dream, to make sure that their legacy is never, ever forgotten. And tonight, I am living proof that America is a country of opportunity, a place where hard work and dedication pays off. To all the children watching, never stop believing, for even the wildest of dreams are achievable. One final good luck to all the nominees, and a humongous thank you to the Academy. Have a great night. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Bill Wood, features reporter at WGNO TV in New Orleans, Louisiana. Congratulations to all 2020 Scholarship Award recipients, and to David Perez for earning the Bob Barron Scholarship. You are the future of our industry, and I think I can speak for all of us when I say we cannot wait to see where you take your professional career, so keep up the good work. As my colleague Alan mentioned earlier, we've had a very busy hurricane season here in our neck of the woods, and I couldn't agree more that seeing communities rise in support after a severe weather event is always inspiring. That's why I'm honored to present the next segment of categories, which includes recognizing excellence in weather coverage, the work of meteorologists to bring stories, series, and specials with vital information on climate issues, the environment, severe weather preparedness, and more. Well, it's not only essential, in some cases it could be life-saving. And on to another category in this segment that also brings communities together. Tonight we celebrate excellence in sports coverage for 2019, with categories ranging from single story to live or pre-recorded programs and one-time specials, all dedicated to the exciting world of sports. And finally, we will also present the craft achievement categories of director and photographer. Good luck to all the nominees.
In the category of director, non-live, the nominees are Nido Cubain, Extraordinary is a Choice, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, Dreamer, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, Troubled Waters, A Turtle's Tale, WLRN TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Lisa Nichols, Born to Win, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, My Shining Hour Story, My Shining Hour LLC, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Why I Count, You Are Awesome, My Shining Hour LLC, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Superpoderoso, Alpha Entertainment Services, Latin Flicks, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Our Last Chance, Preserving Cape Canaveral, University of South Florida, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. El Miedo, Mito Movies and Action Studio, Bridges Productions, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Periodismo en Dictadura, Picante Films, Black Hole Enterprises, Trinitas Productions, Dream It Foundation, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We Kept America Great, Crystal Clear Media, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Daddy, Casa Pro, Black Hole Enterprises, Yare Films, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. A Break for Impact, The Bridge of Hope, Video at CDL, UCF Center for Distributed Learning, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. A Break for Impact, Cameras Not Allowed, Video at CDL, UCF Center for Distributed Learning, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. My Survivor, Levine and Company, Creative Television and Film, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Good evening, I'm Lori Jennings, president of Lori Jennings Live and a proud 6-time Emmy winner. It's an honor to be with you this evening to recognize your achievements and resilience during these extremely challenging times. As true professionals, you have indeed persevered and risen to the occasion. Congratulations. There are several recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Nito Kubain, Extraordinary is a Choice. Nick Nanton, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
You remember what it was like maybe when the first moments when you realized that this business idea that you had, it might actually work? I mean, did you start getting orders? How did that work? And back then it was all mail order, right? I mean, no internet,
yes,
of course. And all
yes, there was no computers then. This is not, there was no Amazon on them.
And the next Emmy goes to Troubled Waters, A Turtle's Tale, Rory Fielding, WLRN TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Long ago, a mighty flood cleansed from the earth selfish human beings living out of harmony with nature.
The next Emmy goes to Lisa Nichols, Born to Win, Nick Nanton, DNA Films, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
They came out to California and we shot for 8 hours. And I was in the first version of The Secret 4 times, and then they did a redo and I was in the second version 19 times.
When I tell you my life took off and I spent maybe 12 to 14 years just trying to catch up to my brand, catch up to the impact I was having.
The next Emmy goes to Why I Count. You are awesome. Steph Karst, My Shining Hour, LLC, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Good evening, I'm Preston Rudy, Regional Vice President at NATA Suncoast Chapter and founder and CEO of Catalyst Communications Group. As we near the end of this historic ceremony, I want to offer a heartfelt congratulations to all of the nominees and recipients and wish you all the best in your future adventures. The next Emmy in category Director Non-Live goes to Our Last Chance, Preserving Cape Canaveral, Jared Brown, University of South Florida, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
We want to make sure that we can at least digitally preserve some of that history and the basis of what's happening today. The younger generation really doesn't know what transpired and what happened throughout the history of the space program at Cape Canaveral.
The next Emmy goes to We Kept America Great, Crystal Alexandria, Crystal Clear Media, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. And the Emmy also goes to Daddy, Juan Carlos de Boyne, Casa Pro, Black Hole Enterprises, Yara Films, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
That's right. He may be my enemy, but at least he will keep his word.
Okay. Time to sleep now, baby. Sleep well. Good night.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to My Survivor, Jerry Levine, Levine & Company, Creative Television and Film, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
When I talk to the students and I talk to schools, higher education, higher ages to understand, I beg them, speak up if you see something wrong.
In the category of Director, Short Form, the nominees are Ciudad de Gladiadores, Gladius, San Juan, Puerto Rico; Eli, Creative Mountain Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida; In Good Hands Promo, Vela Visuals, Amerivita Home Care, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida; Hero Dad, Vela Visuals, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
There are two recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Eli, Julio Menendez, Creative Mountain Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Do you want to be my race? Races, thumbs up? And I said, yes.
He did the entire race on his walker by himself. And at the end of the race, he was the last place finisher. But it's what I remember the most about this race.
And the Emmy also goes to Hero Dad, Sean Vela, Vela Visuals, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
If you're a dad, there's someone who can't wait to see you. Someone who looks up to you.
I'm really excited about the change.
Who wants to be just like you. There are some things only you can do.
In the category of Photographer, the nominees are Look at This Photograph, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida; Nick Moran, Photography, WTLV TV, Jacksonville, Florida; Con Pala, Videography Composite, WPTV, West Palm Beach, Florida; Florida Baseball 2020, Gator Vision, Gainesville, Florida; Satos, Equitas Entertainment, Guaynabo, Puerto Rico; La Tumba, Alpha Entertainment Services, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida; Troubled Waters, A Turtle's Tale, WLRN TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida; A Day Under My Skin, Blue Wings World, Trinitas Productions, Epic in Motion, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida; A Single Step, Meraki Films Corp., Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida; Mi Hermana, Creative Mountain Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida; Orlando Police Department Recruitment, City of Orlando, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida; El Poder de Contar Historias, Atlantic University College, Guaynabo, Puerto Rico; Hay que Intentarlo, Creative Mountain Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida; Together Again, Vela Visuals, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida; Launch Day, WKMG TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
There are several recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Satos, Eixan Robles, Equitas Entertainment, Guaynabo, Puerto Rico.
Aquí estoy tranquila, en mi montañita, con mis pensamientos, con el viento en mi piel, con olor a la naturaleza.
And the next Emmy goes to La Tumba, Cesare Salerno, Alpha Entertainment Services, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Nos hemos venido hasta acá a pesar de todas las amenazas que tenemos y que no nos dejan entrar a nuestro país. Vinimos a recoger todas las denuncias y evidencias de las violaciones de los derechos humanos y crímenes cometidos por el Estado venezolano en contra de los estudiantes y jóvenes en el Estado Táchira y especialmente en la zona fronteriza.
And the next Emmy goes to Troubled Waters, A Turtle's Tale, Fraser Nivens, Luis Maru, Benjamin Hicks, Jim Abernathy, WLRN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
It can be said that human history is written in blood and salt water. From survival and sustenance to adventure and conquest, man has always looked toward the sea to provide. Perhaps no creature symbolizes our relationship with the ocean more than the sea turtle.
The next Emmy in the category of photographer goes to Mi Hermana, Julio Mendez Jr., Creative Mountain Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Las niñitas que fueron renegadas en algún momento, pues logramos surgir. Y eso nadie se lo esperaba.
And the next Emmy goes to Orlando Police Department Recruitment, Philip Cebulski, City of Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Being a police officer, I can live honorably, I can perform righteously, and I can stand up and protect the freedom of these people, of these citizens.
The Emmy also goes to El Poder de Contar Historias, Evan Moreno, Andrew Hernandez Sepúlveda, Atlantic University College, Guaynabo, Puerto Rico.
Todos tenemos historias que contar. Cada evento, suceso, cada experiencia se convierte en un relato. Esas anécdotas que cuentan nuestras abuelas, las visitas al parque.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Hay que intentarlo, Julio Mendez Jr., Creative Mountain Studio, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
El arte para mí es cuando logras expresar exactamente lo que ves y lo que quieres, y no lo que alguien más quiere que tú hagas. En el pueblo donde yo crecí, donde nací, creen que ser artista es ser un vago, que no vas a poder tener propiedades, no vas a poder tener éxito, dinero, cosas que de repente con una carrera convencional.
In the category of sports, news, single story, series, the nominees are Keeping the Coaches, WJXT-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. Frozen in Time, WPTV, West Palm Beach, Florida. Under the Lights, The Big Game, FSN Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. One Saints player thankful for new family, WDSU-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Empty Field of Dreams, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Phantom Limb, The Marco Cicchetto Story, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Rolex 24, Behind the Scenes, WESH-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Keeping the Coaches, Scott Johnson, Justin Barney, Jody Mormon, and Eric Wallace, WJXT-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
Brian Allen calls the head coaching job at his alma mater, Columbia High, a dream job.
So make sure it's here when I'm coming down.
That's why he's not going anywhere. Is it tempting for good coaches in Florida to want to look north of the border? But he knows other coaches in Florida have been lured to what is possible.
And the next Emmy goes to Frozen in Time, Maris Badcock, Con Pala, WPTV, West Palm Beach, Florida.
It is a tough sport.
There's no hiding it.
Not only is it physical, it's mental.
Annika Hansford is obsessed with figure skating.
So you're at a competition and you're like, this is your one chance to make it or break it.
But for the last 13 years, Annika hid the reason she gave up this.
The Emmy also goes to Empty Field of Dreams, Lee Zurich, Cody Lilich, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Didn't think I'd get emotional.
A story that triggers tears.
Sorry, need to compose myself here.
A former politician.
I'm real mad.
And football player sharing that pain.
It's devastating.
The story about $1 million committed to New Orleans kids.
There's going to be a lot of people.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Phantom Limb, the Marco Chesedo story. Patrick Welter, Nikolai Nesbitt, Benjamin Booker, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
You could walk a mile in Marco Ceseto's shoes.
So I'm now switching from my walking legs to the running ones.
Or you could run in his finely tuned prosthetics.
So now I am ready with my run.
In the category of sports, feature segment, the nominees are Florida Gymnastics, Deer Gators, University of Florida, Gainesville, Florida, Wade Legacy, the Miami Heat, Miami Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Never Stop, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida, Central Florida Strong, Down Syndrome Ironman, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, Undefeated, The Nathan Hayes Story, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, National Women and Girls in Sports Day, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tampa St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida, Kids Day History, Fox Sports Sun, Miami Heat, Miami Fort Lauderdale, Florida, All Rise for Cannon Fire, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tampa St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
There are also multiple recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Florida Gymnastics, Deer Gators, Shelby Granith, University of Florida, Gainesville, Florida.
Dear Gators, one of the hardest realities to process over the past few days is knowing there will never be another Gator team like this one. You not only spoke in words, but showed me the true meaning.
And the next Emmy goes to Never Stop, Nick Moran, Heather Crawford, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida.
Dedicated, determined, and driven, Brandon Lyons has spent months training to compete for gold in Tokyo. Along the way, he's captured the attention of many across the First Coast, and his inspiring journey will have you believing anything is possible.
And the next Emmy goes to Undefeated, The Nathan Hayes Story, Patrick Welter, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Our next senior can't join us tonight, but I would like to read a poem in his honor. In our hearts, we thought of you today, but that is nothing new. We thought about you yesterday and the days before that too. We think of you in silence. We often speak your name. Now all we have are memories and your picture.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Kids Day History, Ross Leviton, Ariel Casio, Fox Sports Sun, Miami Heat, Miami Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
For more than a decade, the Miami Heat has given children a most unique platform. What began as an experiment, a chance undertaking, has now become one of the most anticipated opportunities for aspiring young talents. The collection of broadcasters who've guided these children through feelings of exhilaration and anxiety.
In the category of sports, program, live, the nominees are Miami Heat Kids Day pregame show, Fox Sports Sun, Miami Heat, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Eye on the Title, WAFB-TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Tampa Bay Rays Salute to the Troops pregame, FSN Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Marlins Live pregame show, JP Arancibia explains with props in studio, baseball analytics, FSN Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Tampa Bay Lightning Live, Lightning Opening Night, FSN Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Miami Heat Kids Day pregame show, Edward Ballard, Kristen Hewitt, Jason Jackson, Arnold Speaks Jr., Jose Cisneros, Fox Sports Sun, Miami Heat, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
So it is that on this special occasion, a now time-honored tradition seamlessly blends the echoes of our past with ambitious voices of the future. Welcome to Kids Day, a place where dreams that you dare to dream.
And the next Emmy goes to Eye in the Title, Allison Childers, Jaquez Doucette, Matthew Houston, Darren DeQuano, WAFB TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
The LSU Tigers have been playing football for the better part of 130 years. And this season, without question, has been one of the most special in the history of the program. Fans finally have the quarterback and offense they've always dreamed of, averaging nearly 50 points per game. 12 games, 12 wins.
And the Emmy also goes to Tampa Bay Rays, Salute to the Troops pregame. Brad Bartle, Mark Rickles, John Tackett, Rick Hollenberg, Trisha Whitaker. FSN, Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
To all we hold dear, democracy, freedom, love of country, and our national pastime. As the Rays take to the diamond, unfurl the flag, stand and cheer as we all salute the troops today on Fox Sports Sun.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Tampa Bay Lightning Live, Lightning Opening Night. Brad Bartle, Doug Yalacki, Paul Kennedy, Bobby Taylor, and Dave Andrewchuk. FSN, Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
We move forward. No more apologies. We are the Tampa Bay Lightning. And it's time to attack.
In the category of sports, program, post-produced, or edited, the nominees are Bleed Purple, Part 1, Orlando City Soccer Club, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Florida Gymnastics, Rivalry Week versus LSU, Gator Vision, Gainesville, Florida. In the Current, Brady, the Buccaneer, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
There are two recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Bleed Purple, Part 1. Derek Cody, Jenny Chu, Elijah Walker, Daniel Vanasco, Orlando City Soccer Club, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
The eyes don't lie. When you look at his eyes, he has this burning desire, and when he says something, he means what he says.
I accept this challenge and I accept this opportunity, so I see a great future here and a bright future that I would like to be part of.
And the Emmy also goes to In the Current, Brady, the Buccaneer, Stephen Lynch, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
You know, sometimes when you lose, that's where you learn the most. You've got to be able to have enough mental toughness to push through whatever you need to play your best at the biggest moments. And that's what football is all about. Nice. One more. I feel like, I've still made a lot of improvements, and I still feel like I can continue to do it.
In the category of sports, one-time special, the nominees are The Flashback, Wade Retirement Ceremony, Fox Sports Sun, Miami Heat, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Inside the Panthers Live, Roberto Luongo Retirement Ceremony, FSN Sun Sports, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. CBS 4 Nat Moore Trophy Presentation, WFOR TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to The Flashback, Wade Retirement Ceremony, Edward Ballard, Arnold Speaks Jr., Jason Jackson, Eric Reed, Will Manso, Levon Wright. Fox Sports Sun, Miami Heat, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
While his days of amazing and uplifting us on the court may now have passed, one thing is certain. Dwayne Wade is forever where he belongs. In his county, in his city, in his house.
In the category of weather, the nominees are Expedición Dorian, Conociendo un Monstruo, Dorian Expedition, Meeting a Monster, WRMD Telemundo, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Hurricane Michael, 1 year later, WJXT-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. I Feel Forgotten, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Laboratorio Televirtual de la Autoridad en el Tiempo, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Chaos and Charity, Hurricane Dorian hits the Bahamas, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Un extraño fenómeno, WAPA-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Huracán 2020, WSCV-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. NBC6 First Alert Hurricane Special, WTVJ-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 7 News at 10 Hurricane Dorian Disaster, WSVN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Hurricane Dorian, Days of Destruction, WPEC-TV, West Palm Beach, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Huracan 2020, Yoel Rivero, Vera Castillo, Ariel Rodriguez, Dinette Sierra, WSCV-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hola, bienvenidos al programa especial Huracán 2020.
Este año les presentamos el espacio de una manera muy peculiar, ya que nos prepararemos para una nueva temporada de huracanes, siguiendo las normas establecidas para evitar contagios por el...
And the next Emmy goes to 7 News at 10, Hurricane Dorian Disaster. Zach Hammer, Sheldon Fox, Nicole Ensalada, Joe Rhodes, Walter Morris, Franklin White, Craig Stevens, Belkis Neray, Tammy Darling, Brad Friedkin, Mark Davis. WSVN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
First at 10 tonight, the Dorian disaster. Hello again, I'm Craig Stevens.
I'm Belkis Neray. The death toll has risen again tonight, and with many more still missing, officials say that number is expected to rise significantly.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Hurricane Dorian, Days of Destruction. John Brady, Carl Puglisi, Jim Grimes, Liz Quirantes, Alexandra Nall, Chris Hinson, Jay O'Brien. WPEC-TV, West Palm Beach, Florida.
In late August of 2019, hurricane season had barely begun, and the fourth named system, Dorian, was coming our way. Within days, it was projected to grow into the most powerful storm we'd seen in years, maybe the strongest in decades, and it was headed straight for us.
In the category of special event coverage, the nominees are Gasparilla Parade of Pirates, WFLA-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Premio Lo Nuestro, #Alfombra Live, Univision Communications, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Winning Amelia, Gemstone Media, Jacksonville, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Winning Amelia, Raymond L. Hayes, Gemstone Media, Jacksonville, Florida.
It's a year-round effort to curate an international car show. Hunting for the rarest, most significant racing and historic automobiles requires a keen eye, secretive leads, and a knack for the unusual. The Amelia has a reputation for bringing together the most extraordinary...
As we celebrate your achievements tonight, we would love for you to post your acceptance speeches to social media and share with friends and family. Use the hashtag Suncoast Emmys 2020 and tag us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Suncoast Emmys. We also want to see how you're celebrating, so feel free to post pictures throughout the night. And don't forget to tag us and use that hashtag at Suncoast Emmys and hashtag Suncoast Emmys 2020.
Good evening, I'm Julie Montanaro, Eyewitness News anchor here at WCTV in Tallahassee, Florida. As this awards ceremony is coming to a close, I want to take a moment to sincerely congratulate all of our region's nominees and award recipients tonight. The work that you've done, especially in a year like this, is truly remarkable. It is recognized, it is appreciated, and it makes a great impact in your community. Thank you for continuing the legacy of journalists that came before you and for setting a new standard of excellence for the future. Now, our final group of awards for the evening, excellence in news gathering. Categories like breaking and spot news, team and continuing coverage, and investigative reporting. We'll also recognize special achievement for overall excellence, news excellence, community service, journalistic enterprise, and interactive media. And finally, we celebrate the familiar faces that audiences tune in to watch day in and day out in the Craft Achievement Talent category. Here are the nominations.
In the category of breaking news, the nominees are Hurricane Dorian, live in Marsh Harbor, WPLG-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. George Floyd protests erupt in violence, WFLA-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Losing Control, Daytona's fiery finish, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Disturbios en la Fortaleza, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Secuestro mortal del chofer de UPS, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Spectrum News 13, Tornado Touchdown, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. UPS hijacking ends in shootout, WTVJ-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Hurricane Dorian, live in Marsh Harbor, Janice Fernandez, Brian Eli, WPLG-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay, we hear people yelling for help. Okay, so we're walking with you. With hotel staff. We're hearing yells for help on the other side of the hotel. So walk with me. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, we hear people yelling for help. There's a lot of water on this side of the hotel.
In the category of spot news, the nominees are Hurricane Evacuees Kicked Off Ferry, WSVN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Dorian's Destruction, WPTV, West Palm Beach, Florida. Puerto Rico police fires tear gas as protesters call for Puerto Rico's governor to resign, WVEN-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Puerto Rico police fires tear gas as protesters call for Puerto Rico's governor to resign. Ángel Sepúlveda, Cynthia Montalvo Prado, Carlos Vázquez Otero, WVEN-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Estamos corriendo, me dicen que estamos en vivo. Tenemos que correr en este momento, se siente muy fuerte. Los gases, hasta donde estábamos. No estábamos primero donde los estaban lanzando, pero a este punto ya se ha regado y los estamos sintiendo.
In the category of journalistic enterprise, the nominees are Siempre Contigo, WTMO Telemundo Orlando, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Lee Zurich Investigation, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Money, Power, and Politics, WTBT-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Joe Kepner, Central Florida Strong, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Kids Sold for Sex, How Children Are Branded, Sold, and Arrested, WFTS-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Año Convulso, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Telenoticias, Historias de Impacto, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
There are multiple recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Siempre Contigo, Valeska Gil Wester, Raúl Diaz, Carmen Rodriguez, Natalia Fernandez, WTMO Telemundo Orlando, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Para la sorpresa de más de 7 víctimas, este taller mecánico, County Towing and Recovery, cerró sus puertas de manera repentina. Nuestras cámaras estuvieron presentes cuando detectives de la oficina del alguacil del condado Orange dieron inicio a una investigación que pudiera tener más víctimas.
The Emmy also goes to Lee Zurich Investigation, Lee Zurich WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Right here. Tell me when to stop.
Recreating a box.
Stop about right there.
Right here?
We're humans, you know, we should be treated like humans.
The size about 20 feet long, 10 wide.
17, 18 people at all times in there, sandwiched in there.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Money, Power, and Politics. Craig Patrick, Craig Davison, WTVT TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
See this FBI press release titled "Tampa Man Pleads Guilty to Hate Crime"? This is a federal case that does not appear in the FBI's master list. While local agencies process other hate crimes that never work up the chain, while others never get logged.
In the category of interactive media, the nominee is Walking the Florida Wildlife Corridor with Carlton Ward Jr., WPBT TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Walking the Florida Wildlife Corridor with Carlton Ward Jr., Charlotte Cushing, Norman Silva, WPBTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
This is Audubon's Corkscrew Swamp, which is the largest old-growth cypress forest left in America. When I'm wading through a cypress swamp, I love to notice all the details. I really am drawn to the texture of the cypress bark, where you can follow it from the water line all the way up 50, 60, 100 feet.
In the category of community service, the nominee is Isla y Vuelta, No Small Feat, Third Eye Productions, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
And the Emmy goes to Isla y Vuelta, No Small Feat, Harold Jesurun, Third Eye Productions, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Blake is 9. He lost his home in Barbuda during Hurricane Irma. He now lives with his mother at the Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Stadium.
In the category of talent, anchor news, the nominees are Sandra Peebles, news anchor, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Allison Kropf, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Violent protests, breaking news coverage, WTVJ-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Sandra Peebles, news anchor, Sandra Peebles, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Buenas tardes, le saluda Sandra Peebles. El tiempo menos intenso esta tarde, pero a pesar de esto persisten las inundaciones provocadas por las lluvias de ayer y los últimos días. Para saber dónde está lloviendo y qué podemos esperar del tiempo en las próximas horas, pasamos a nuestro meteorólogo.
In the category of talent, anchor weather, the nominees are Bienvenido a mi laboratorio televirtual, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Huracanes, Dorian, marejadas y cuarentena, WAPA-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Finding facts in the forecast, WPMI-TV, Mobile, Alabama. Meteorólogo Rubén Capote, WRMD Telemundo, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Roberto Cortés Weather Segment, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
There are 2 recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Bienvenido a mi laboratorio televirtual, Elizabeth Robaina, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Muchísimas gracias, Sujei. Así es, amigos en casa. Hoy el laboratorio televirtual se va a activar desde aquí, desde el mirador de la ciudad de Guaynabo, con esta vista espectacular. Podemos apreciar que ciertamente los cielos están un poco nublados a esta hora. De hecho, alguna llovizna ha caído durante horas de esta tarde en el sector montañoso de Guaynabo y también se puede...
The Emmy also goes to Finding Facts in the Forecast, Alan Seals, WPMI-TV, Mobile, Alabama.
We did not have rain clouds today, but radar between 2 and 4 o'clock was picking something up in the Florida Panhandle. You probably know what it is. It turns out it wasn't rain. Radar usually sees little things falling from the sky. It's designed to pick up the size of, say, a raindrop or hailstone. But radar will also detect particles rising from the ground.
In the category of talent, reporter, general assignment, spot news, the nominees are Nicole Linsalata Composite, WSVN-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Alexis Boentes Al Aire, WSCB-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Kate McVeigh, Storyteller, Bay News 9, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Tampa Riots, WFTS-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Protestas violentas en Miami, WSCV-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Historias de Raine Anciani, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Megan Cruz, WFTV, WFTV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. David Rodríguez, renuncia del gobernador de Puerto Rico, WSCV-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are 2 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to Alexis Boentes al Aire. Alexis Boentes Arias, WSCV-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Quiero mostrarles algo, miren esto. Ropa, ¿sí? Ropa que encontramos muy cerca de aquí, en un césped, presuntamente la ropa que estos vándalos intentaban llevarse, que sacaron de estas tiendas tras romper las vidrieras y que mientras escapaban.
And the Emmy also goes to Tampa Riots, Michael Paluska, WFTS-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Everything was kind of cool before, but you can see behind me, they started to go into the foot action. There's a hair place here, there's a Champ Sports over here, and everybody just sort of running in, grabbing what they want to grab. It's kind of pandemonium. There are a lot of kids out here. It seems like, you know, the kids in a Christmas store, man, they've just been turned loose.
In the category of talent, reporter, specialty assignment, the nominees are The Signature Saint, WGNO-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Jenna Bourne, investigative reporter, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Kate McVeigh, Gone, Bay News 9, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Lee Zurich, specialty reporter, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Lee Zurich, Empty Field of Dreams, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. Story to Share, WBBH-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida. Chatgate Scandal, WTVJ-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Scouts Honor, WTLV-TV, Jacksonville, Florida. Sueño Espacial, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Karen Chawla Investigates, WAFB-TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Tom Gregory, Go Louisiana, WLAE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
There are several recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Jenna Bourne, investigative reporter. Jenna Bourne, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Jenna, you uncovered a much bigger story here.
You can't look at this and tell me it's a small problem. It all started with these handwritten records. Nearly 500 bus drivers wrote that passengers physically or verbally abused them in the past 3 years. We found the job is getting more dangerous quickly, and HART could be doing more.
And the next Emmy goes to Lee Zurich, Empty Field of Dreams. Lee Zurich, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
The Ninth Ward Field of Dreams, a big dream of a New York transplant, Brian Bordanik, a teacher and athletic director at Carver High School.
I think it shows to our students that, you know, look what can happen. Look what can happen when we put our mind to something.
The dream to build a football field on the school's Katrina-ravaged campus.
And the Emmy also goes to Story to Share, Sean Martinelli, WBBH-TV, Fort Myers, Naples, Florida.
In search of the first human that would let us tell their story,
So much for lunch.
we thought we might have laid a goose egg.
Hi, how are you?
As fate would have it, we ended up finding a goose with a man instead.
How would you describe Muse to someone who's never been here before?
And the final Emmy in this category goes to Chatgate Scandal, Shelly Muñez, WTVJ-TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
All right, now back out here live. We have scooted a little bit further down El Viejo San Juan, Calle Fortaleza, but police did deploy that tear gas, and I tell you, we weren't even that close to the governor's mansion, and it hits you in the face. I actually want to show you some of these officers who are going down. If we can actually pan here, police making their way down Calle Fortaleza.
In the category of talent, sports commentator, editorialist, performer, narrator, program host, moderator. The nominees are Pat Welter, sports anchor, reporter, composite, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Driving Me Crazy, WTLV TV, Jacksonville, Florida. Troubled Waters, A Turtle's Tale, WLRN TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Stargazers, WPBT TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. MLK Day Open, narrator, Fox Sports Sun, Miami Heat, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Superpoderoso, Alpha Entertainment Services, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Natalia Denegri, Trinitas Productions, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ferdinand Perez Roman, WLII TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Tom Gregory, Driven, WLAE TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
And the Emmy goes to Superpoderoso, Christopher Navarro, Alpha Entertainment Services, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Nene llegó vos, ¿verdad?
They're all outside.
¡Feliz cumpleaños!
Whoa! Mom's gonna freak.
In the category of team coverage, the nominees are Black Lives Matter Protest, WOFL TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. La Gran Marcha, WKAQ TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. 7 News at 6, Hurricane Dorian hits Bahamas, WSVN TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Explosive Emergency, WSVN TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
There are multiple recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Black Lives Matter Protest. Lara Greenberg, Brad Flanagan, Robert Guadarrama, Holly Bristow, Melissa Medley, Stephen Sigielski, Michael Schlissel, Rachel Linden, Heather Gustafson, Samantha Sosa, Keith Brown, Danielle Lama, WOFL TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Good evening and welcome, everybody. I'm Charles Belay.
And I'm Heather Gustafson. There were many touching moments throughout the evening. Officers in full riot gear hugging demonstrators during one of our live interviews, and officers taking a knee in solidarity with the protesters. And we continue to have live team coverage tonight of the protests. Our team of reporters have been walking on the streets with these protesters.
And the next Emmy goes to La Gran Marcha. Jaime Carrion, Janet Toro Fantauzi, Santiago Santos, Nidia Morales, Frederick Lomba, WKAQ TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
La música lo dice todo. Característica de los puertorriqueños. Donde haya un tambor, donde haya música, ahí tiene que haber puertorriqueño, y esta es la forma muy particular del pueblo a expresarse.
And the final Emmy in this category goes to 7 News at 6. Hurricane Dorian hits Bahamas. Darcy Tannenbaum, Mark Alcala, Daniel Cohen, Craig Stevens, Brian Enton, Nicole Insalata, Tammy L. Darling, Frank Guzman, Brad Friedkin, Julio E. Jara Jr., Belkis Nere, Andrew Scheinthal, WSVN TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Good evening, everybody. The extent of the disaster is only now becoming clear.
So many people have nowhere to live, nowhere to stay, and in some cases, no means of communication. We have live Team 7 coverage of the rescue and relief missions as well as reunions.
In the category of continuing coverage, the nominees are Terremotos en Puerto Rico, WKAQ TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. The Bahamas after Hurricane Dorian, WPLG TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Miami, escenario de fuertes protestas, WLTV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Guardian, WESH TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Filing failures, Florida's unemployment problems, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. WikiLeaks, Puerto Rico in turmoil, WTVJ TV, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Puerto Rico en Jaque, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Renuncia del gobernador de Puerto Rico, WSCV-TV, Miami-Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Terremoto en Puerto Rico, WSCV-TV, Miami-Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Devastación de Dorian en Bahamas, WLTV, Miami-Fort Lauderdale, Florida. A Puerto Rican Revolution, WPLG-TV, Miami-Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Puerto Rico en Jaque. Janet Toro Fantausi, Jaime Carrion, Nidia Morales, Santiago Santos, Hugue Lamela, Maribel Meléndez Fontan, Nuria G. Cebazo Lugo, Pedro Rodríguez Oyola. WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Hablábamos hace unos minutos con residentes de la zona y nos decían que esto es una acción sin precedentes porque nunca habían visto algo como esto. Ahora le están lanzando a los policías, le están lanzando con objetos incluso.
In the category of Investigative Report, Single Story, the nominees are Shopping on the Clock, WAFB-TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Medical Facility Mistreatment, Spectrum News 13, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida. Body of Evidence, KATC-TV, Lafayette, Louisiana. Community Service, KATC-TV, Lafayette, Louisiana. Mercados Indignantes, WSBS-TV, Miami-Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Tenemos miedo a perder la vida. Audios exclusivos desde los centros de ICE infectados con COVID-19. Univisión Noticias Digital, Miami-Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And the Emmy goes to Body of Evidence, Jim Hummel, Justin Toro, Wincy Noli, David Hilbin, KATC-TV, Lafayette, Louisiana.
Sometimes you may need to retrieve the body in case the coroner missed anything. If the body's gone, they can't do that.
I found out it was a homicide 2 days after we had her cremated. Cremating the body is like lighting the scene on fire. Why would we destroy evidence when we don't have to?
In the category of Investigative Report, Series, the nominees are Inspecting the Inspectors, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. El Precio de Vivir en Miami, WSCV-TV, Miami-Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Cell Blocked, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana. The Price of Protection, WFTS-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Issues at Iberville Oaks, WAFB-TV, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Licencias Ilegales, WLTV, Miami-Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Licensing Loophole, WTSP-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Wrongly Accused of Child Abuse, WFTS-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida. Standard of Care, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
There are multiple recipients in this category. The first Emmy goes to Inspecting the Inspectors, Lee Zurich, Cody Lillick, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
We continue to dig into Julie Tweeter's inspection records, but also widen our probe to other city inspectors and found a second one who claimed to visit the Hard Rock construction site, even though his city GPS records show his city vehicle never came close.
And the next Emmy goes to Cell Blocked, Lee Zurich, Cody Lillick, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
The sheriff's office doesn't dispute our findings that it's ignoring the 48-hour standard.
I would say don't commit a crime in St. Tammany Parish and you won't have to go to holding at all.
But aren't we innocent until proven guilty?
That's not for the sheriff to determine. That's for
The Emmy also goes to Licencias Ilegales, Armando Pico Erika Carrillo, WLTV Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Cerca de 20 empleados dependen del negocio de cortinas que Antonio Alemán fundó hace 7 años en Hialeah. Pero su fábrica está en peligro.
Me pueden cerrar el negocio y me han dado licencia temporal, pero ya se vencieron.
tu negocio, igual que esta carpintería, este centro médico y la pizzería de Dianelis y Rey.
In the category of Overall Excellence, the nominees are WJXT-TV, Overall Excellence, WJXT-TV, Jacksonville, Florida, WFLA-8, On Your Side, WFLA-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida, WESH-2, Overall Excellence, WESH-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, WVUE-TV, Overall Excellence, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
And the Emmy goes to WFLA, 8 on Your Side, Mark A. Higgins, WFLA-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida.
Green Beret fighting a deadly disease continues his struggle to change a law that he contends discriminates against active duty military.
Sergeant First Class Richard Stasko believes our troops deserve the right, in the event of negligence, to sue military doctors for malpractice. Now, 8 on Your Side senior investigative reporter Steve Andrews tells us the soldier is now seeking support.
In the category of News Excellence, the nominees are WFLA News Channel 8, On Your Side, WFLA-TV, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, Florida, WWL-TV, Eyewitness News, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana, Telenoticias Puerto Rico, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico, WESH-2 News, WESH-TV, Orlando, Daytona Beach, Florida, WVUE-TV, News Excellence, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
This is the last category we're announcing tonight. There are 3 recipients in this category, and the first Emmy goes to WWL-TV Eyewitness News, Keith Esparros, WWL-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
In the 90s, they started to sort of fade. The crime element started to pick up a little bit, and people started moving out. And then we lost J.C. Penney's, we lost Dillard's. Then we were right on the brink of Katrina.
The next Emmy goes to Telenoticias Puerto Rico, Dialma Santiago, WKAQ-TV, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Iniciamos Telenoticias 5 p.m. y seguimos activados ante la emergencia que hace una semana le cambió la vida a todos en el país. Jorge Rivera Nieves está destacado en Guánica, donde se ha levantado a una ciudad de carpas para darle servicio a los cientos de afectados por los temblores. Jorge, cuéntanos qué está sucediendo en la zona.
And the final Emmy in this category, and for this evening, goes to WVUE-TV News Excellence, Mikel Schaefer, WVUE-TV, New Orleans, Louisiana.
A football stadium like this, with turf, lights, bleachers, could have been a symbol of the city's post-Katrina recovery in the 9th Ward. Instead, it turned into an example of what went wrong. We spent 3 months investigating the promises and the money meant for a neglected community, kids.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the president of the Suncoast chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, Barbara Alfonso.
Thank you for joining us this evening. We hope you enjoyed the first Suncoast Regional Virtual Emmy Awards. Before we close, I'd like to thank the Emmy Awards Production Committee, who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make this event a reality. Tonight's announcers and guest presenters, WKRG-TV for providing footage of our Gold Circle inductee, and the many stations that made available footage for our opening. And a special thanks to Jeff Summerstein and team from Accord Productions. Last but not least, statues for tonight's award recipients will be shipped directly to the mailing address you have provided. Once more, on behalf of the Suncoast Chapter Board of Governors, I wish to take this opportunity to say congratulations to all the nominees and all of tonight's recipients. We look forward to seeing you in 2021. Until then, we wish you and your families a happy and peaceful holiday season. Be well, stay safe, and take good care of yourselves and your loved ones. Good night.
We would like to thank our sponsors, Accord Productions, your full-service production facility, and Aventura Mall, the premier shopping destination in Miami and South Florida.